back corner when I'm not presenting.
Listening in.
And listen in.
Hey everybody, welcome to Bass University Live here on Tuesday night.
Take a quick break, watch John Cruz's on the Tokyo rig.
Be a part of the show, get some chances to win some awesome prizes.
This Bass you go. You know, we didn't have that back then, and dude, it could just...
That text thread gives me so much energy. I mean, like I'm dialed.
In the back corner when I'm not presenting.
Listening in.
And listen in.
Hey everybody, welcome to Bass University Live here on Tuesday night.
Take a quick break, watch John Cruz's on the Tokyo rig.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Bass University Live. Glad to have everybody with us. There's been so much happening over at Bass University as of late, and we're super excited about tonight's show because there's been some really cool things going on in the sport of fishing, and we've got a guy coming on tonight that we're really excited about, and Derek Mundy is coming on tonight, guys. He is jacking them down at Sam Rayburn. He's a Texan, and he is winning big, winning the MLF tournaments down there. He had a 40-pound stringer to win a BFL, backed it up with a Toyota Series win, which included a 39-pound stringer in that tournament as well. Just really crushing it down there in January, in January of this year. So we're going to have him on. We're going to be talking about deep diving crankbaits, winning patterns, how do you catch a 40-pound bag? Who knows how to do that? Very few people know how to catch a 40-pound bag, myself, and I include myself in that. And we're going to be having him on tonight. Can't wait to do it. Also, we've got a special guest with Gills Gear coming on tonight. Tiger Huffman's going to be coming on. And we've got some great new announcements, dropping some new lines of amazing clothing for the serious angler like everybody watching this show. So that's coming on. It's going to be a great show. So get your questions together for Derek and talking big cranks. It's coming tonight on Bass University Live. I see Professional Fish Head is with us tonight. Glad to have you. We missed you last week. You were out doing all kinds of filming for Bass University TV. We're glad to have you back with us tonight, buddy. How are you?
Oh man, I'm good. It's good to be back, and I picked a great week, man. I cannot wait. When somebody gets on a run like this is not just getting on a heater or a scrape, as Riz likes to call it, and I like that. But man, this isn't just, hey, I'm winning some tournaments. I think some of us have been there and been fortunate enough to feel that kind of momentum. Dude, this is a dominant stretch full of giant bass. I mean, I think there are 2, 3, 4, 5, I don't know, double digit 8+ pound fish that have appeared for this guy in 2 tournaments. It's amazing, and I cannot wait to try and learn what he's doing to target these overgrown ones, if you will.
How he's able to target these bigger overgrown ones on a world-class fishery with world-class talent trying to do this thing, and he's figured something out. I can't wait to try to dive in. He's became one or the only angler alive with 2 of the top 10 biggest single day weights in MLF history.
Wow.
He's got 2 of the top 10 with that 39-pound bag and that 40-pound bag. He's the only one on the list twice.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable is right. Can't wait to have him with us. And
I guess we're gonna give him that nickname, Mega Bags Monday, then.
Mega Bags Monday. If it rhymes, it must be right. But, yeah, well, we're gonna be having him on, guys, in just a little while. We've got Riz fresh off the snowplow in studio tonight. How are you doing, buddy?
Pete, I am doing great. I'm happy to be here in the warm Bass University Live studio. Back's a little bit tight, but you know what? That's all right. I'm ready to talk about some bass fishing. The message board is already fired up, so I can't wait to get into this. I mean, this guy's just catching absolute monsters.
Absolutely, he definitely is, man. And we're froze up here temporarily. I don't think it's going to last for too long, so we're excited to be talking about fishing. I know a lot of people in the country, minus the Alabama, Georgia, Texas area, man. We're cold and frozen up here, so it's fun to be talking fishing. And we even have BTC, of course, in studio. Getting the studio switched over from the Ike Foundation event, and did a nice job getting us off tonight. BTC.
Yeah, thanks, man. A little bit late. My back of my neck, but we're here and ready to go, man. Yeah, dude, I'm super excited to talk to this guy. I know you guys teased it a little bit in the beginning there, but man, did he do some things? And I got the chance to talk to him beforehand about the things he did and how he did it, and it's good stuff, man. So let's get to it.
I'm glad you have the scoop. I don't have it yet. I'm excited to hear and learn and find out what's going on. And as we mentioned, the Ike Foundation. They had a great telethon this past Sunday, and they exceeded their donation goal. But a lot of guys are there's still opportunity to get to help out more, get more rods and reels into kids' hands. So I want to invite everybody to go to the ikefoundation.org. You can still donate, you can still participate, and it was a fun show, and you can still watch it. You can view all the great interviews from Swindle. I was on there, saw the video from Ish, so many of the greatest anglers in the world, freshwater and others, professional athletes, all on the show. So go check that out and give what you can to help the Ike Foundation continue to introduce fishing.
Yeah, that was a good time, man. That was a fun event.
I was there for all 4 hours, man. I was like locked in. I was, the emotional stories of guys, telling their tale about their dad or their uncle, or in John Cruz's case, the gardener,
What? The mailman?
Yeah, the guy who worked in the yard, man. He was the big bass head in John's world, and took him, dove in. Took John with him, and they dove into bass fishing.
I got you.
So yeah, that was very, very cool.
All right.
Yeah, it's good stories all around. But so go check that out, guys. Tonight you're watching. We've got great prizes as always. We've got a ton that we're giving away. If we use your question on the air, we're going to hook you up with some cool stuff for our Bass U subscribers, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. Riz, what do we got in store for the guys tonight?
Yeah, that's right, Pete. As always, we're going to be hooking up our subscribers. Anybody who asks a question and we use it on the air, we are going to be sending them some products from our sponsors, Crankbaits, hats, gear, all kinds of just good stuff. It's going to be heading out the door to anybody who gives us a question and we use it on the air. Also, in tonight's show, we're going to have a grand prize at the end, which is going to be a $100 gift card to Gills Gear. And, guys, this stuff is legit. I've been wearing this shirt a lot more than just on Bass U. Let me tell you, it gets the job done. And also, on Facebook, we're going to be doing a like and share giveaway. So if you insist on loafing around over there and not coming over to Bass U TV and getting signed up, we're still going to hook you up. Like and share tonight's feed, and you are going to be entered into a chance to win a Flambeau box that's loaded with up to $50 worth of baits from our sponsors. Rapala, VMC, Storm, all kinds of good stuff is going to be in there. So like and share tonight's feed. Get yourself in for a chance to win that. But, guys, the juice is in the program. Head over to bassu.tv. Take advantage of the last day to get our annual deal where you're going to get a $70 gift card for signing up for Bass U TV, and you can ask questions on tonight's show and get a chance to win the grand prize. So it makes sense. Head over there, become a part of the program.
Yep, lots of great stuff. And, of course, you can try it for 30 days free. It is a $70 worth of gift cards, a $25 Tackle Warehouse shopping spree, and a $45 Bass University subscription card that you can give away or extend your subscription, do what you want. So it's a great little annual deal that we're running right now, and it's going to end tonight. So so get yourself over there, get yourself subscribed, join the group. We've got some tremendous member benefits over there, and we're going to ring those throughout tonight. But boy, just for subscribing,
Pete.
There's so many, 800 plus instructional seminars, 40% off of Rapala, Flambeau, great missile baits discount, Gills Gear. We're going to have those guys on tonight, a 15% off Sea Clear Power. We've got an amazing opportunity that we're going to give to all of our subscribers, a Tackle Warehouse shopping spree that it starts on February 10th, guys. So you guys want to be part of our program when we roll that out. And great deals with Cash and Fishing Rods, TH Marine, $10 off a $50 purchase or more, and many more. We'll ring these guys out throughout tonight, let you guys know what you're getting. And come on over and join the program. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We're going to get our guest on, Derek Mundy, get him ready to go. We're going to come back. We're going to be talking about how to catch a 40-pound bag of bass in a derby, not just out fun fishing, but when it counts, man.
Let's go.
This is serious, man. So we're going to be right back with him in just a few minutes, right after this, guys. Stay in there with us. Why do you love catching fishing rods?
I'm truly losing less fish.
Is the sensitivity of the rod.
That they're made right here in North Carolina in the USA. Strongest, lightest rod, 100% made here in Sanford, North Carolina.
From the drop shot rod to the flipping stick. Every rod has a purpose to it, and I rely on them all the time when I'm out there in a tournament.
Durability in the John Cruz Worman series, the counterbalancing in the handle.
It's the only rod I found that can withstand my hook set. Boom goes the dynamite.
We're different. Some would say obsessed. There's no place on earth we'd rather be than right here, right now. Performance-driven gear, so you can fish longer, harder. Gills Performance Fishing.
One thing that's happened that's probably advanced our electronics more so this year than anything that has in a while, Sea Clear Power wiring harness. These units are designed to do a certain thing. If you're not getting enough power, enough wattage, enough voltage, they're not going to perform the way they're supposed to perform. Sea Clear Power wiring harness fixes that problem. One of the great things about the Sea Clear Power harness is it doesn't matter what brand of unit you have, it doesn't matter what kind of boat you got. The thing that you want from the Sea Clear harness is power. Sea Clear Power puts enough voltage to your units to make them maintain the performance that they're supposed to maintain. So if you're not seeing everything like you think you should see it, Sea Clear Power will show it to you.
And action.
Hey guys, welcome back to Bass University Live. Great show tonight. If you're just joining us, we've got Derek Mundy, who's going to be on with us. And my gosh, I see him right there. He just popped into our screen. So we don't even have to hesitate. He is the only individual that has 2 of the top 10 heaviest bags in the history of the MLF. He's doing it. He's destroying monster catches down at Sam Rayburn in Texas and just crushing it. And we're so tickled to have him with us. Derek Mundy, the champ, is with us tonight.
Woo! That's right.
Good to have you with us.
What's up, Derek?
Good to have you with us, Derek, buddy. How are you doing tonight?
Man, fantastic.
I bet. Have you've gotten a couple big checks? Have you, have you decided what you're going to do with all the cash?
Well, part of it probably going to a new motor. Mine blew up last week.
Oh man!
Oh.
Did
During
that
the
blow?
event?
Did it blow up during
I had
the
to
derby?
fish out of not during the Toyota, but the previous weekend. Yes, it blew up in an Outlaw Outdoors tournament, and I fished the tournament out of a buddy of mine's boat.
No kidding. Well, isn't that the way fishing is? Money in, money out.
I guarantee it. It was about her time though. It's an old HPDI. I'm gonna put a brand new show on it.
Good for you. I've got one on mine right now, and I love it. That's a great choice, and it's been a great deal. I mean, you did some things that were absolutely spectacular. You know, catching these 40-pound bag, you know, stringers. It's truly amazing in that, you know, you're doing it amongst a group of anglers down there at Texas that are studs. I mean, there are some powerhouse fishermen down there, and you're coming in with some monster bags. That's gotta make you feel good.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, those guys, you're right. They're very great fishermen. I mean, I'm blessed for sure.
Well, let's go ahead and let's dive in a little bit to the fishing. I know, you know, obviously here at Bass U, that's what we're all about, and talking about X's and O's. And I want to take you back because you caught our attention through our own professional fish head, Justin Kimmel, when you jacked a 40-pound bag in the BFL a little bit earlier in the year. And, you know, that's tremendous. Take us through that. I mean, I know it's like Rayburn Red, right? Everybody's up throwing lipless crankbaits, but that's not what you were doing.
No, sir. I stayed out, and I wanted to throw a big crankbait, you know, and swing for the fences.
What? Tell me about it. What was your pattern?
Man, I was actually fishing some hard spots, kind of on a little shelf, and I've got a little history here on this spot where I caught the 40-pound bag. I've never seen the number of fish that showed up this year. I mean, it was a bunch. I mean, a whole lot of fish set up on this spot, and man, I run there in that BFL straight to it and pulled up, and in 15 minutes caught 40 pounds. It was
15
crazy.
minutes.
Talk about landing on the X. Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Oh my gosh. Was it cast after cast? Did you go any cast without a bite?
Sure, because I mean I'm winding that crankbait as fast as I can turn the handle, you know, especially after the first one's, I don't know, roughly 8 or 9. I mean, it helps you really bring it on down through there after that, you know. But I think I called. I remember catching the first one before my co-angler even got up on the back deck.
Yes.
That's so awesome. I remember we used to be able to take advantage of that, like the co-angler deal. JK, I know JK's the greatest co-angler in the world, and you drive to a spot, bounce around. Rods would get tangled, lures would be in their shoes. You could get 20 or 30 minutes of fishing in before they would get untangled, you know?
Is that why some guys keep their boats the way they do? Ike, crankbaits hanging everywhere, all over the place, treble hooks all over the floor.
Sabotage.
But
now, you know, you got the Rod Warrior sleeves and all the great rod sleeves. Got the co's can keep their stuff tight and can get themselves fishing fast. But it's hard to catch 5 fish in 15 minutes, but it's impossible to catch. I mean, 40 pounds of fish, man. That's intense. So you had a giant on your first cast, and it just kept rolling.
Oh, yes, sir. I think, trying to think now, trying to remember. I think that, the 11 was like the third one. So there was like another 7 or 8 in there. And let's see, I'm trying to remember. Oh, no, the 11 was, I think, second. I'm trying to remember it. It was all so quick, but I remember actually getting hung up in there. This was on the fourth fish, I think, and I got hung up, and I didn't want to lose my bait, and I was like, man, but I don't want to spook them. But I was kind of limited because I mean it's hard to get baits right now, and I went past it and popped it up, and one about took it out of my hand. It was another big one.
Good Lord.
But it was crazy.
As soon as you popped off the snag, the fish grabbed it.
Oh, about to take it out of my hand.
That's
and then I float back and kind of get that up, and they're kind of busted up and everything, and I ended up just kind of dragging a jig through there, and when I felt like I was in their face, I kind of stroked it up, and one just like smokes it, and and that was my fifth fish.
Wow. So what you're telling me, at least in this BFL, you caught 5 fish in a row. One of them came on a jig. One of them came when the bait got hung up and you popped it free. And the other 3 came when you're winding that crankbait as fast as you absolutely can. I'm already seeing the common denominator here is you're making them react. I mean, this is the KVD Power Fishing 101. Make them react. Do you feel like those larger than average size fish just have to have that just to get them to bite?
I think so. It seems like you got to go to one extreme or the other, like either really, really slow or really, really fast, it seems like. And I can't hardly fish very slow.
That was a great observation, JK, and boy, you can see it. But tell me about this spot, right? What are we fishing? Like you said, it's a hard spot. Or creek channel turn, main lake. What kind of area are these fish setting up on?
It's kind of a little turn on a point, and it's the hard spot actually just don't even really have a much harder return than the rest of it because the whole area is hard. I actually kind of found this stuff on Google Earth, like, man, probably 2 or 3 years ago before I ever found it. I got all these hard spots that I got off of Google Earth on my graph, and I just kind of went and investigated because I know that if it's hard right here, because the lake was 11 foot low, that I could follow that back out, and chances are there's another hard spot in that vicinity. You know what I mean? And then I kind of found it by fishing, really. I mean, because because it's so hard. It's all real hard, but there's a little bitty tiny spot that's harder than the rest of it.
Now you found, I guess we were using like Google Earth Pro, going and looking at the historical photographs and found a year when the water was way down. Is that how you did it?
Yes, sir. If I remember right, it's like 2011 is like when Raven was like 11 foot low.
Awesome. And now, and it showed up as a hard spot. And what do you know what it was? Is it gravel? Is it shell beds? Do you know what it is? Is there grass around?
There's no grass around. I'm assuming it's probably some sort of clay. It's probably a little harder than the rest. That's what we mostly have. But it could be something else because I know it's really, really, because I can feel that crankbait really grinding, and when it gets to this spot, it really, really grinds. I mean, I don't really know. I'd really kind of like to know what it is. I'm not real sure.
Now, Derek, did you find this area when the lake was 11 foot low? Is that when you located it?
No, I fish this area a lot, and I just kind of use Google Earth to kind of maybe find something that's out there a little bit further,
Well, we heard, a lot of guys are using Google Earth and finding out their, its capabilities, and it's, we use it all the time. And you looking at those historical photographs can just, man, it's an eye opener. And so you got these ID'd, and now, is the lake, I'm assuming, is at normal pool. So these are 11 feet deep now, or are they deeper than that? How deep are we fishing?
About 18 feet. It's actually on out. The lake is actually, I think at that time when I caught the 40, it was probably 3 feet low. But see, I've just kind of found that hard spot to maybe, because chances are there's another one. I mean, it extends on out in the water.
Sure.
Where you can't see, you know.
Is there any habitat, or is there brush on it? Is it just purely a hard spot?
Oh, there's brush everywhere on Rayburn. I mean, it's insane the amount of brush piles on Rayburn. I probably got 2,000 brush pile waypoints on Rayburn.
Wow.
Is this one of your brush pile spots?
No, I thought about putting brush piles out, and I mean, I've studied the map and everything, but like, man, that would just be the perfect place. And then you go idling, and up there, somebody's already had that same idea.
There's already one there for you, and that brings me to an opportunity to bring in a question here from one of our subscribers. Joe V wants to know, when you're doing map study, Derek, what are some of the characteristics that you look for in these areas that would be either a great spot to drop a brush pile, a great spot to fish, or just a great spot that's going to hold these 40 pounds worth of fish? What are you looking for when you're studying maps?
Man, really something irregular, and or maybe like a little subtle drain, or different bottom composition. Just something for them to relate to.
What are they doing on it? Are they feeding? Are they getting ready to spawn? Why are those fish there right now?
Oh, they're definitely feed spots. I mean, it's when they come up and set up on this stuff, it's business. I mean, they don't stay there long. I mean, I barely had time to catch that bag, and they left.
That's crazy. And I saw that with your other tournament too, that these fish are just. Is it like a morning thing? Are you able to like ambush them later on in the day, or do you stop back, or is it just, man, you just get lucky if they're there and just count your blessings and go? How do you handle it?
I mean, you're not guaranteed they're going to show up, and I think it's harder this time of year because I don't feel like they have to eat as much, but you kind of got to get the timing down. Sometimes it's a morning deal. Sometimes it's midday. I mean, you kind of got to do your homework and kind of get the timing down on them.
Yeah, I say 15 minutes, 40 pounds. That's pretty good timing.
Going up from first.
Yeah, it's a fairly good call you made, Derek.
Pete, I want to go back. We've heard deep crankbait. Well,
Yep.
we assume deep crankbait because he's 18 feet deep. We've heard crankbait and we've heard jig, but I mean, I need more information, bro. I want to know the bait. I want to know it. Tell me what kind of crankbait, color. All our guys are asking online. I can see the questions pop off, but I got to know too. So, what at least in that first derby, what got the fish to the scales?
I caught them on an 8XD and a B&M football jig, but I've kind of got a something I think this may work better on the way. I really want to kind of wait before I put it out there, but I'm pretty excited about trying it. It's a different crankbait I want to try on, and I think might, be something a little different and maybe even better.
Huh. So is this something that you've thrown already, and that you're just waiting to
a little
release?
bit?
Okay.
A little bit. It's I've thrown it a little bit, and I think it's going to be a big player for sure.
Yeah, but the 8XD did the heavy lifting that day, right?
Absolutely.
Talk
they kind
about
of want
that.
something big. I mean, yes, sir. They're. I mean, they kind of want a big offering. And at 8XDs, a little bit bigger than a 6. It's kind of the profile that works good this time of year.
Okay, so why an 8XD and not a 10XD? Because I think Toledo, I think Sam Rayburn. I'm out here in the Southeast, so I'm not from Texas, but I feel like that's just the land of the 10XD, and now all of a sudden you're making headlines with that. Is that just a preference thing, or is there really a niche for that where it's getting into the right column? Why that?
Well, I do like the 10XD, but in my opinion, that 8XD is a little bit more subtle. And I mean, that 10XD can be a little overpowering and a lot harder wobbling and all that. And I don't want to spook them either too. You know what I mean? Raven's pretty pressured. Like,
now you mentioned the subtle, it's more subtle than a 10XD, and I can follow you there because I've thrown both of them. But what about like your color selection? Are you going subtle there too? Or are you going loud colors or what?
I kind of like the any of the like the sexy blueback heron or the chartreuse shad, something like that. That's that chartreuse shad they got it's almost translucent to, I mean, not real translucent, but it's not like a bright white.
Right.
You know, I want to something pretty natural.
Something that they can barely see, I guess. Were you fishing super clear water or was it still stained?
No, it's got a stain. It's got a pretty good stain because this time of year we get some pretty good north winds coming through and with a little bit of rain and all that. Most of our water's on the stain side. But I think they can see a lot better than we give them credit for.
Oh yeah, that's great stuff, man. And one more thing about that jig. The trailer, did you mention the trailer on that you're using?
No, I use like a sweet beaver on it because I want something that I pop up and it goes down like real fast. You know?
No action, so more speed.
Yep.
Nice.
I don't think
that's good stuff. And I know there's there's so many details here. I know our guys, Rich, and they've got questions. What do we have on the IM board?
Talk to me. Hey, Pete.
Let's keep going. What do you got?
I don't think we touched upon and correct me if I'm wrong, I'm whatever in here. He caught 40 pounds in 15 minutes, but he made the change from throwing a crankbait to a jig within that 15 minutes to catch that final fish. Did we go in on that?
Not really.
Well,
that's a question on the board, actually. Somebody wants to know why did you decide to do that? That's astounding.
Yeah, I mean, I could imagine, like, you know, you're on them like that. You're putting them in the boat with a crankbait, and within 15 minutes, you're already making the decision that you got to pick up another rod to get a bite. Derek, we got to hear about it, man.
Well, when they kind of get busted up, it seems like you need something like a Carolina rig, a football jig, or something up to pick up the strays. I don't know. I just kind of instinct type deal. It kind of made me pick it up, but usually you want them grouped up, in my opinion, you know, to catch them on the crankbait, to get them. I mean, they're competitive and they want to jump on that fast moving bait.
So explain. So you caught 4 in a row on the crank. And what did you make a couple casts without getting bit that caused you to throw the jig? Is that how it happened, or do you just mix it up?
I made a few casts, you know, but I mean, it don't take long to chunk that crankbait out there and burn it back, you know. And after a few times of doing that, it didn't work. And you know, I felt like I needed to give them something a little bit different.
Wow. Good call.
So Derek, you're saying that you're recognizing your window to get bit is short.
Very, very, very short.
Okay.
That's pretty all. I mean, you know, I've been in that situation before where, you know, when you're on a group of fish and they're biting every cast, it's like if you don't get a bite, you know, you can recognize it right away. Something's happened. They moved. They've adjusted to your bait or something's happened. So that's
absolutely
great move, throwing a jig in there to clean up. I like it, and I see questions coming through on Facebook. I want to throw it over to our guys on the IM board. Rich, what do you have lined up?
That's right. The first one I'm going to go with is from Riz B. Plowin'. And Risby Plowin wants to know.
You talk about snow or something else?
Well, he wants to know, after you caught 40 pounds, what did you do? Did you pull a Timmy Horton and go back to the ramp and order a pizza, or did you keep fishing?
I like that question.
Nice.
Well, I actually started running some grass lines trying to get my co-wangler in the box, in the box, and
good for you.
And I mean, after you catch 40 pounds, I mean that clock does not move. And I'm sitting there, I mean, about to wear the hinges out on the live well, checking on them. And I was like, hey, buddy, you get mad at me if we ease on back. And I got a hold of the tournament director, and he told me that to be there by 2.
That's great. It's so funny that you say that. The clock is when you're not catching them, and I know everybody on this call knows that when you're not catching them, it is in hyper speed. The time is just moving so fast, but when you're catching them, it's like unbelievable. It goes into slow motion. That's crazy to hear you describe it like that.
I want to hear about those electronics, man. That's really what I want to hear from you about. What kind of electronics you running? How are you finding these fish? What are you doing once you find them? Talk a little bit about that.
I run Humminbird electronics, and I've got the 360. And man, leading into a tournament, I'll spend as much time as possible just idling. And if I see fish that I feel like's catchable, I'll throw a waypoint on them, and I'll just keep idling, and do that for a couple of days, and then I'll get out there real early, the next day, and try to hit as many of them as I can just to see if I can get bit on something, maybe with something without some hooks or something, and just like sneak up there without scanning them first. They've done, and try to sneak up there and see if I get bit, and if I do, I go into the next spot, and so on.
Now
I guess when go ahead.
I was going to say you're scanning them. You using side imaging? Are you driving over them with down scan or 2D? And what are you using for that to locate them? And you said see what fish that you think are catchable. Tell me what that looks like. What do you mean by that?
I use the side scan. I don't use down imaging or 2D because in the water column of the down imaging, in the side imaging, I feel like it's down imaging. I just don't feel a need for it. I just run maps and straight side imaging, and I just kind of try to look for fish that I feel like is relating to something. If they're way off the bottom, I'm probably not catching those. I just try to see if they're in a drain, if they're on a point, if I feel like they are on something, I feel like I can catch them.
Now, what about you said sneaking up on them? Are you using 360 or, how are you sneaking up on these fish?
Well, I'll usually wait to the next day or something, and see, I try to mark all these spots, and then I'll come and take a day to expand on this stuff, and I'll shut down 300 feet or so away, and kind of ease up there with a trolling motor, and kind of get spot locked down and let the 360 start doing its thing, and start panning around it, start looking for them with it, see if they're there,
Absolutely. And those are two amazing tools to do that exact thing. And let me ask you this: on your 360 while you're fishing, are you able to target the fish? Can you see them out there and cast to them? Are you able to do it? Are you just basically trying to get yourself in the area of the habitat?
Oh, that 360 is the deal, especially fishing like hard spots and stuff, where the cover's just not real thick, I see these fish. Like it was really neat. When I caught the 40 pounds, I would have given anything to have a video of that screen. Like these fish, like when I'd catch one, they just disperse. And then it would be like, and then all of a sudden they start getting closer, and then I'd get my bait in there, and then the next time it made a little revolution, they would be like real tight, and you catch one and they bust again. And I mean, it was probably one of the neatest things I've ever seen. I mean, that 360 is a deal.
Wow.
JK, I want you to go to Texas. I want to get video of this.
I'm in.
Yep.
I'm in. Mike Reed, I'm coming to you, buddy. Save me lodging, so Pete will send me.
I got to be able to see that. That's so amazing. And you know, I've seen it where when you catch one, you know, they all follow it back to the boat, but it's so interesting. They them disperse.
Yeah.
Did you see that following in?
Not actually on that school, but on this last tournament, when I caught the 13 on my third cast, I'm like, I take her off, throw her in the live well, and I get up there and I start taking trying to get the treble hook out of the net, you know, and my hand's shaking, you know, and I look up and like 40 feet in front of me, they're like just waiting, like, well, I mean, looking for what that, you know, around trying to find something to eat.
Oh, I
Wow.
love it. I love it. Oh, that's so awesome.
Did you catch one on the next cast?
Not the next cast, but maybe it's either the second or the third cast on like this last tournament after the 13. I caught like a 7.5 and like maybe another 7.5, 8 pounder on the same bait on the same cast.
Are you kidding me?
Rich, 7 and 8 pounders following 13 pounders in, man. That's amazing.
That's
Wow.
just absolutely astounding. Grattan Fishing on the Bass University TV subscriber board would like to know how long did the fish hang on to these hard spots, and also how many times during the day would you come back to check on these fish on these key areas?
It's kind of relative to the time of year because these are wintering kind of fish. I mean, they're here pretty soon. They're going to be a little bit closer in, and but I mean, if I need them, I'm going to check them as many times as it takes throughout the day.
I've got a question. This comes. I saw this on Facebook. How tightly packed are 40 pounds of fish in the live well? What's that look like?
It's tight. I had to borrow some of my co-anglers real estate over there. I had I put 3 of them on my side, and it was pretty neat. And then I put 2 on that side. But every time I started jumping around trying to get him on some fish in the grass, and it was rough. It was the wind was blowing so hard, and so we'd take us a little bumpy ride, and then I'd open the live well and get them all situated back up. They're just holding each other up, you know, to keep them from turning on their side.
Stacked
up. That's huge. I mean, I can't imagine. That must be a great image when you pop open them wells and see all those big giant eyeballs looking back at you. Rich, is there any more? Is there any more lined up on our IM board? I'm sure there is.
Absolutely. We're stacked up. These guys on our message board just keep bringing the heat on me on these questions. There's so many good ones. I'm just going to give a few shout outs here while we're on the board. On the Bass UTV subscriber board, we got Will H, Grattan Fishing, Epic Eric, Go Trooper, Little Buck 3, Jay Hen, Epic Eric, Brucey, the Wawa Hoagie Lady, Bernie. There's so many. It's just absolutely stacked up. But I do have a question I want to get to, and that is from Coach Prince, and he wants to know, on your key crankbait setup, what was the gear ratio on the reel that you're throwing?
Great question.
I use a 6-4 to 1.
Okay.
And I like to lose Super Duty the wide spool because you can throw them really far, and I don't want to lose that gear ratio.
Right.
What's the rest of your setup there, Derek? Rod. What's the rod and line there?
I use a MHX rod. It's they're extra heavy and their crankbait line up. I got a magazine on the coffee table here. I can say the exact blank I use. It's a let's see, 8 foot extra heavy. It's the CB 968 blend. It's an awesome rod. It really is.
What about the line? Are you using heavy line, fluorocarbon? What are you cranking with?
It just depends on the spot. I've got some rigged up with different line sizes. Like the 8, I can get down. I mean, I can get pretty close to that 20 on 17. If I go shallower, I like 20, just because I'm fishing for real big ones.
There you go.
You've proven that, and that's fluorocarbon, right? I'm assuming.
Absolutely. I use CR and Vizex is the line I use. I started using it, I don't know, probably 8-10 years ago, and it's never failed me. So I've just never changed, you know.
Derek, I have a question. This came from Ike in my text message. He wants to know more about the crankbait. What exactly was it modified? What were you doing to it?
I put bigger hooks on it.
Is that the only modification?
That's the only thing I do to it.
That's it?
The only.
Sorry, Richard.
Was it silent or did it have rattles in it?
It has rattles.
Okay.
What?
I don't think they can make a silent AXD.
Okay.
You could.
What brand, like what model hooks, like EWG style, round bend, extra heavy? What kind of hooks are you using?
I just get the KVD hooks and put on there a 2-aught. I go to a 2-aught on the on like the 8XD. I don't know. I mean, it's hard to argue with him.
Yeah.
On hooks. It's pretty easy decision.
So that's BTC when you're fishing, when you're going to catch 13 pounders, you use 2-aught trebles, in case you were wondering.
I can't wait.
On your next trip. No, that's great. You're tying direct to that crankbait?
I mean, it's got a split ring, and I tie to that split ring.
Okay. Yep. We're just diving in here a little bit, and here's a question that I have, because this is super powerful statement that you made. You got a 40-pound bag, and there's no way you're going to do it again. It ain't happening. You
Right.
The stars and moon came into alignment, and you massed this huge stringer in this BFL. Here comes Toyota Series, and day one you come down to earth. Like it didn't happen. But holy crap, did you back it up on day 2, and you did it again. So take me through that. Like what happened on day 1, and what adjustment did you make on day 2 to get right back into the juice?
I went in, day 1, I had some, like, man, 4 schools I really wanted to hit that morning, and I'm seeing them. I can't get them to eat, and I'm like, man, it's a tough fishing day. I better go. And I just bailed on it and went to the grass, because I fished the Bassmasters Open last year, and I kind of learned that, because I didn't catch a limit the first day, and I had a 6-pounder in the live well, and on Rayburn, you on a multiple day event, you've got to keep yourself in it. If you swing for it like I do, and give yourself a chance to be able to catch that big bag and to make a move, But so I bailed on those fish, because I just can't get them to bite, and after hitting all of them, they didn't want nothing I had, and
they wouldn't fire.
So I went in. Right. So I just went to the grass, and I knew I could catch a limit that way, and you can catch a giant in the grass for sure on Rayburn also, and
yep.
And I fished my butt off, and best I could do was 12-13 the first day. I mean, I just never could. I come back a few times, check the deep fish, and they didn't want none of my stuff.
You could see them?
Oh, absolutely. When you slip up there, that 360 don't lie. It's man, I that's probably one of the most important things on my boat. I just, that's a bad tool.
So how do you decide when you can't catch those fish, when you see them there, when you know you're sitting on 12 pounds and you know there's 20, 30, 40 pounds sitting there? How do you leave that?
Oh, it's hard, but I don't. You just got to give yourself a chance for tomorrow, and I knew that. And I mean, it's hard. It is real hard because I mean, when they show up there and they're in a big group and they show up there and that, because it's neat. I feel like I've learned so much since I've got that 360, because you get to see what's going on all the way around your boat while you're fishing. I mean, I never realized they move so much. I mean, it amazes me. I just felt like before, if I fish that stuff, you know, maybe they wasn't there, you know, and would just leave. But with that 360, you know, if they're there, you know, if you need to make a change, you can see them heading to what you're fishing. I mean, it's a neat tool. It is. It really is.
So you're fishing and you see them on day one, and you can't make them react. And that's got to be a hard decision to pull up anchor and say, all right, I can't make them, and I got to give up, because I could see a lot of guys just dying out there. But you smartly, you bailed on them.
Oh, absolutely. And I've learned that because I have rotted. We call it rotting on the spot. And I've done that, and it don't work for me. I know it works for some people to camp out and wait for them to do their thing, but I just, when things ain't happening, you gotta make it happen.
So what was your pattern? You went up in the grass. What'd you do up there? You lipless fishing or chatterbaiting? What you doing to get 12 pounds to keep you in it?
I just tied on the red. Oh, I had one tied on. Took a red rattle trap, and I started hitting all the best grass I had. I mean, we're pretty fortunate. We got some pretty good grass this year, so it had everybody spread out enough to where you could salvage your day.
Just curious, Benji. You said that you're fishing big tournaments down there. Did anybody crowd you on your spots? Were you sharing water with anybody, or did you have these places to yourself?
The first day, there's people close, but a lot of guys that's fishing these are locals, and they're not going to crowd you a whole lot. We try to give each other some respect, because we got to fish against each other, you know, the following weekends, you know. But I mean, absolutely, it gets crowded on Rayburn for sure.
You've got 12 pounds. Are you demoralized, you know, or are you just like, man, we're going to just go do it all over again? Did the weather change? Did you just decided to do it again because you knew the potential, or what happened on day two when you woke up? What was your decision?
Well, I started off with a cup of coffee, you know, to get light on my feet, and then turn the radio up and kind of get in the mood to the weigh-in, you know, to the launch, you know, get pumped up. Man, I know I had to do something different.
Derek, what was your pumped up song?
Yeah, what's on the radio?
Man, I like some Seether, some Breaking Benjamin, something, you know, something upbeat.
All right. You didn't say country music.
That's
Round of
right.
applause, everybody.
God.
My man. We're sending an extra Bass U hat in the mail to you. Back to you, Peter.
That's right. But yeah, I mean, I knew I had to change it up, and I actually had a spot, and I didn't hit it the first day because it was a long ways from where I wanted to fish, and I just sitting there. I mean, when I got home, this spot just kept coming to mind. I'm like, man, because I caught a week, not too, I guess it's probably a week prior to that tournament. Or maybe it's actually 2 weeks before that tournament. I found this at school and I haven't even hit them, and they just kept on I just kept coming to mind. I said, man, I mean, I got to do something different. So I decided to start closer to the ramp on that school, and they were ready.
That's awesome that they were ready. And was it the same kind of thing, man? Is it like 15 minutes? I got 40 pounds again. Holy crap. How did that day play out?
Actually, I mean, I caught the biggest one on the third cast is 1310, 10 ounces. And 3 casts later, I caught them. I mean, they're in the neighborhood of 7.5, give or take.
Good neighborhood.
It was my other 2.
Welcome to the neighborhood.
Fish,
7.5.
Here comes the neighborhood.
Yeah, there's the 3rd and 4th biggest fish, and I'm still seeing them, but they busted up real bad, and they just wasn't wanting to set up. They just cruising by. They just they wouldn't hang up where I needed them to hang up, and I tried to fan cast around, and I just don't have the luck. Whenever fan casting around from when they're roaming, I mean it's and they wouldn't set up, and I'm sitting there thinking, man, if you catch 2 more fish, you're fishing tomorrow. And so I pick up the old trusty red rattle trap and started just running all these grass lines, and it was crazy going into this tournament. The first day I probably caught 30 fish on a rattle trap, but they're just small. And leading into the tournament, it was real warm, and they were actually schooling around the grass. And I actually caught a 9-pounder on a rattle trap. What? But so I knew the potential was up there. But man, I got to running a lot of that stuff, to try to catch the other ones. And I caught 1 keeper, and it was like the smallest possible keeper you could probably catch. And I'm like,
probably like 5 pounds or something, right?
Yeah.
No, it was about 1.5 pounds, And, I was like, man, maybe they're set up. So I run back out there, and I see them, and we're kind of got brighter conditions at that point, and it's kind of harder to make them react sometimes in those conditions. So I just picked up a Carolina rig right off the bat, and filled my limit, and caught my last 2.
What were you dragging?
I was dragging Lake Fork ring fry, and I actually caught them the last day on that Lake Fork. I mean, the Zoom double ringer, like something smaller.
Yeah, that's a big deal out in Texas. I see that all the time, where it's like a centipede or ring fry type bait. It's no action, might have a little ribs on it. Is it chartreuse pepper? Is that what you're throwing?
I actually caught, these was actually on green pumpkin that day.
Okay.
But I did catch some on a chartreuse one. I actually lost 2 good ones the last day on the chartreuse pepper.
Wow.
But green pumpkin is just kind of my go-to. It's, I don't know. I've tried different stuff, but green pumpkin, or it seems like you got to go, I either throw green pumpkin or straight chartreuse. Or chartreuse pepper, I mean.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy? You're either throwing a giant crankbait, burning it as fast as you can, or you're throwing the smallest bait in your tackle box. That's crazy. It's crazy.
That's right. That's got a 1 ounce weight on it.
Let me, on your rattle trap, like you said, rattle trap. Are you throwing a rattle trap, like brand bait? Is it is it 3? I'm assuming 3/4 ounce. I don't know. What are you throwing?
I've actually got a pretty good stock of the old Excaliburs left, and that's my go-to.
Sneaky.
Yeah, when they went out of business, I've made a few eBay purchases over the years.
Is that the 1 knocker? Didn't they make a 1 knocker, or is that a different style?
It's the yes, sir. The XRK 50, the 1 knocker.
Yeah,
that is a bad little dude. I don't know. It was worth the extra they wanted for them on eBay.
What'd you pay for it?
It's hard to say. My wife's sitting kind of over here. That's
all right. It might make her feel better that we all just bought, like when Oliver and I was here, we all spent $100 on glide baits each.
100 for each.
Yeah, 100 for each.
Yeah, we don't need any domestic disputes over here.
Good dodge. Good way to dodge the question, Derek. Since we brought that up, are you using big baits? Are you? You got these giant fish out there. Is anybody down your way using the glides or the big 8 and 10 inch, boot tail style swim baits to do good down there?
I've actually caught some on the Bastrix. Can't remember which one that is because I know they run a size small. Maybe it's the 8 or something. I've actually caught some decent fish on it. I've actually got before this year, my PB actually come off one of those Bastrix swim baits. But
what is that PB, by the way?
I've tried the glide. Leading into this year was 1096.
Oh, geez.
And I've caught 2 11s and a 13 in this month and a 10.
Wow.
4 over 10, Pete. 4. It's my whole life.
That's a good month. Man.
All the more reason we should all be fleeing the north right now and heading to Texas.
Wow.
Come on.
This is the time.
Being a Bash U subscriber has really paid off for you, Derek.
That's right.
Yeah,
man, I've always wondered when that second part's going to come out on old Faircloth talking about the grass. I've been waiting on that for like 5 years, I feel like.
Which second part?
Well, they were talking about in the next episode, we was going to dive more into, I can't remember what it was.
I remember him doing that.
5 years.
So you're either watching the winter and spring one or the summer and fall one. And for those of you guys who want to go watch Faircloth, those are his couple seminars on Bash U TV. And what Todd does is he got cut off short in one of the seminars, and he began the next seminar by finishing the first one. So you might want to go watch the summer and fall one, and he finishes where he left off. I might have that reversed, but he ends up finishing that first seminar in that next one. So just watch the other Todd Faircloth one. He did we took 2 seminars for him to get through the whole year in fishing vegetation, hydrilla and stuff like that. The way they do it out in Texas.
I've been waiting. I was wondering what was the deal. When around here, when old Todd Faircloth does something, you pay attention.
I heard that.
Todd's the man, and that's why we had him teach grass fishing because he's the best. And
absolutely,
coming from that area, that was we definitely had to have him. And I want to welcome Tom Mix. Just signed up for a 30-day free trial at Bash University. We've got a lot of people signing up during tonight's show. So,
that's awesome.
Appreciate welcome to the program. We got a lot of great stuff coming on. We've got a great annual promotion going on right now, $70 worth of gift cards, a $25 Tackle Warehouse gift card, as well as a $45 Bash University 3-month gift card. You can use it for yourself, or you can, by extending your subscription, or you can give it to a friend.
Derek, how long have you been a Bash U TV subscriber?
I'm thinking about 7 years, maybe 8 years.
Right on, man.
That's what's up.
He's lifelong. He's a lifer, man.
You're a doctorate student.
Yeah. He just got he's about to get his doctorate degree from the Bash University.
That's right.
And the guy's catching 40-pound stringers like they're going out of style.
Man.
Ding, ding, ding.
That's right. Y'all might be doing something right.
Yeah.
You're doing something right.
That's awesome, man. I love hearing that.
Listen up, guys. Here's another one of our Bash University subscribers making it into the winner circle. Derek, let me ask you this question. You made a big splash with 40 pounds, coming in, I've seen this before. Guys can get mad or jealous or how's the feedback? Are guys, coming on board with you? Are you getting some bad attitudes down there? Like when Riz keeps winning, everybody's giving him attitude up here. What do you down there in Texas?
Man, it's been all love. I mean, it's people respect somebody that goes out and puts in the work. I mean, we all everybody knows who's at the ramp, you know, and putting in the work. And I mean, everybody that knows that, they're behind you 100%. I mean, they want to beat you, but man, they're on board.
That's great. Man, that's great to hear. And, you know, I know a lot of other guys are, you know, they're obviously trying to do what you're doing out there. What do you think, or what have you learned about these big wins that, you know, you think you're doing differently? Is it that you're just committing to that big bite more, or just looking for it more, or what do you think is separating you from the field?
Man, I'm not scared to zero, I think is probably the deal. I mean, nobody wants to, to zero, but it really doesn't bother me. I don't know. I want to go for big ones the whole time.
Man, that's great. That's what a freedom that is to go for the win. So you're like not trying to qualify for, like, you know, the next level in the MLF. You're not going to try to take it there, or you just trying to win? I mean, what are your goals?
Man, I'd like to ride it as far as I can. I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm going to follow this the rest of the way out, because by winning, I've already qualified to the championship. But
Right on.
man, I still feel like I have to take that mentality wherever I go. I mean, that's just how I fish. I can't. I'm not going to chase points. If I do it, I'm going to go out there. I want to win. You know.
I love it. I've spent the last few years fishing the opens that way, and there's a freedom that comes with it. It's fun, honestly. You know, when you're chasing points, it's frustrating. There's a lot of pressure. You know, and I've done that. I did that for years and years. Fishing for the win, just, man, I personally, I love doing that a lot more.
Absolutely, and I know you got to be realistic. We all know our weaknesses and stuff. I mean, if I was to go and fish for smallmouth, I would probably have to fish for points, because I don't know nothing about them.
I tell you what, I will trade a big giant crankbait lesson for a smallmouth lesson. I'll trade you right now.
Hey, I'm game. I've actually, when I've worked up there, I've actually, because I build my own rods, I built me a little 2-piece rod I keep in the back of my truck, and because y'all have little streams all over the Northeast. I mean, these ain't giant smallmouth, but man, when it gets warm or whatever, I'll go try to get a little Kitech swim bait and fish around them little river stuff, and they'll light them up.
Derek, are you competing with your own rods out there?
Yes, sir. Every rod I use is rods I've built.
Well, right on.
Wow.
Good for you, man. That's amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So tell me about the action on your 8XD rod, your deep cranking rod.
It's a moderate. It's a graphite blend rod. Man, I know, like, a lot of guys like that. Some glass, but man, I can't feel nothing with it. And I get it.
Does a blend mean it's graphite and fiberglass?
It depends. They have graphite glass blends, and they have graphite blend rod, different blends of graphite to make that moderate action. And I prefer the graphite because I can feel it better. I mean, but there's trade-offs. Like glass, you don't feel as good, so they can get that bait before you realize it and swing on them. With graphite, you know, I can feel the bottom, I can feel every little thing, but I have to train myself when they hit it to make a few cranks and load into them. I mean, instead of just, as soon as you feel them, just jack them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you kind of got to train yourself for the equipment you're using, you know.
Very cool, man.
Are you selling your rods?
No, I just build for personal use. I'm busy enough. I don't need another to build for a bunch of people.
Well, I don't know. You might want to consider selling some. Your wife is probably going to push you in that direction after hearing all the money you're spending on these lipless crankbaits.
It's a possibility. It's a possibility.
So what's next for you, Derek? Where are you fishing next? I guess the perfect world is you're right back at Rayburn.
There's a few little small tournaments on Rayburn. There's actually one, couple of them that I can double dip in. I can fish both of them. We may do this weekend, and then I'll probably follow the BFL over to Toledo the following weekend. It's pretty loaded schedule down here. You can fish a tournament between Toledo and Rayburn every weekend, a pretty big money tournament.
You hear that?
I know it's true down there. I know. I wish we had that kind of action. Of course, we have the Chesapeake, and we get tournaments there every weekend, and it's great. But we're not seeing the 200 boat fields and giant payouts like you see down there in Texas. That's pretty cool. And you live right on the banks of the lake, right? I thought I saw that.
Not far. I can hear the boats on the lake, but I don't live on the water.
Well, that's awesome. It's close enough. And I just want to ask you this, and I want to get into I want to ask you for the waypoints, but I can't ask you for the waypoints. So are you fishing, like, what part of the lakes are you fishing, like major creeks, down lake? Are you running up river? Generally speaking, where are these big bags coming from?
I'm the way north is pretty good on Rayburn, but I'm scared of stumps, so I usually don't go up there. When I fish up there, I'm with my fishing partner. He knows that way better than I do. But I stay at mid-lake, the mid-lake region a lot, which is a huge area. But that's where I do most of my damage. I don't fish way south, but I just kind of stay in that mid region.
We kind of brushed on it, but are these places that you're catching them, are they out on the main lake, or are they tucked up in a creek or a cove, or where are they?
Oh, they're out on the main lake. That the last day of that open, I was taking waves over the nose trying to fish those fish. I was tiptoeing up on the front deck. I thought I was going to have to go to the bank and get some rocks and put in my pocket to keep the nose down. The foam motor was coming out of the water.
So Derek, you mentioned having a partner. Do you fish a lot of buddy tournaments on Rayburn?
Yes, sir. I fish. I try to fish something every weekend, and when I'm in between jobs and stuff, I try to spend as much time on the water as possible.
Yeah. So did you see the announcement yesterday about the new trail, Johnny Morris's new buddy team tournament trail?
I don't think so. I haven't.
Okay.
Well, you're disqualified. Look into it. I was heading through the phone all day yesterday.
Yeah, there's a new team tournament trail Johnny Morris is bringing. It almost sounds cool. I don't know. My opinion is it's almost cool. Except for you have to have a certain boat to fish it, and then you're disqualified if you've made more than $100,000, which you did that, and you're halfway there in January, so you might be out too there, Holmes. But thanks for nothing, Johnny.
I mean, that would be pretty nice.
Yeah.
What are your career winnings? Are you over $100,000 with this win?
Probably I won around 20 last year on just some small tournaments on Rayburn.
They won't catch you on them, bro. You're on the radar.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It's the U.S. Open tournament that is closed.
Yeah, it's U.S. closed.
That's the U.S. not so open.
Yeah, well, it's a
Don't
great
get me
tournament.
started though.
Great, it's a great tournament, great concept. I know Epic Eric, a friend of the show, he's super psyched to fish, and I know a lot of people are. We all wanted to jump in it, but we got DQ'd.
Yeah, I love a buddy tournament trail, man. It's like, dude, that's the best, and we
those are the best,
and we totally need it. And they almost nailed it, except for greed got in the way, and you have to have their boat. So, I'll hold back the rest of my opinion, but I'm not a fan of that.
I'm with you, BTC. If somebody would just put together a high stakes team trail, like, dude, I'm in. I'll do that. I'm not going to go on tour or anything like that, but you give me 6 or 7 of those team trails. I don't care if they're $5,000 entries. I'm in.
I mean, dude, it's
I
just a
love
good time,
that format.
man. That's what it's about. I love it. You know, I don't know.
Oh, they're definitely fun. I mean, like on some of these deals, like I'm catching them or whatever, you got to get back in there so fast. But with a partner, you know, after you get one in the net, I mean, you can just cut your line and fire and let him fire in there and pick up another rod and just get ready for the nets. You know, you can keep the bait in there.
Absolutely.
That's right. Keep the school fired up and keep catching, so you can, you know, upgrade to, you know, from 40 to 45 and then 50 pounds.
Yep. There you go.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they got
you in, Rich?
Yeah.
There was a
Fishing with Adam
for what? The U.S. Open? Yeah, we're gonna do it. We're gonna
awesome,
jump in there. So
absolutely, that's good, man.
U.S. Open, Chesapeake Bay. I think it's July 17th.
That's right. Everybody, go find a friend with a Ranger boat.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll watch and look for you, Derek, at the next event. I guess you're fishing the next Toyota series. Where is that one located?
That one will be in Texoma.
Texoma.
Lake Texoma.
How do you feel about Texoma? You got some history there? You looking forward to that one?
I've never even seen it. But I mean, I definitely up for the challenge for sure.
Okay. Well,
hold on, Peter.
What do you
Justin
got?
Kimmel just sent me a text message and reminded me that I do not believe we made it to day 3 and the last cast of day 3. I don't know what the heck we're doing tonight.
Yeah, I think there's quite a story to tell yet.
Yeah. Go ahead, man.
Man, on day 3, like I would go to this different area because I don't want anybody to know where I caught that big bag, because I've got tournaments coming up. And so I go to like a decent school that had some, you know, I felt like I could catch a limit of 3-pounders, you know, at least. And I could never get them to bite, but I saw a lot of fish. I knew they was there. I saw a lot of them, and I felt like my timing was probably wrong. So I did the same thing and went caught a limit with a rattle trap. And the winds was really ripping. And then for some reason, they started laying down a little bit. And I'm like, dang, you know, I might be able to get back out there on that little school. And I get out there, and it's getting about 15 minutes until time to get back. And, you know, I jump one off on a Carolina rig, you know, 5-6 pounds or so, and it comes off, and then I fire out there next cast, and another one bites it, set the hook, and make about 3 turns, and it comes off. It was a decent fish, you know, and I by then I'm like, God, you know, I mean, I'm kind of wondering, you know, maybe it ain't time for me to win, and it's getting close. We got to leave, and I fire out there, and I'm bringing that crankbait back, and I was like, man, when I get this in, we got to go. I set the rod down, and I grabbed the strap to start pulling it over, and I see on the 360 that there's a giant out there, and I was like, man, one more cast, and I fire out there and make 5 or 6 turns of the handle, and she smokes it, and it was a 10-pounder.
Oh, come on!
Oh my god! Oh my god!
I grab her, throw her in the live well, and I just put that skeeter to the floor.
How many seconds or minutes to spare did you get back to the ramp?
I got there a little sooner because I run a Ranger, and that skeeter's a little bit faster. And
Okay.
I had about 4 minutes to spare when I got there. And I got there, and I was like, man, I wish I'd have made one more cast, you know. Because when I did, I saw when I called her and got her in, and I was like, yeah, I really got to strap it down now, and we got to go. And I had to take one more look at the graph, you know. And like, she had some buddies pop up there, and I'm like, oh my God. And I wanted to cast, and I was like, no, you got to go, you know. And that probably done it. But I was, if that tournament would have lasted 15 minutes longer, man, it'd have been scary what would have happened.
Jeez.
Because it was weird. The wind laid. You could kind of feel, you could just feel something different in the air. You know, like when you fish a lot, you can tell those little subtle weather changes, and you're like, I need to get on my stuff. And it was one of those type deals, you know. And I knew, man, if I had 15 more minutes, it would have been like, it would have been pretty crazy.
That's nuts. What a great ending. What now? You talked about the weather change, and I kind of talked about this a little bit, but what happened from day one to day two? That because day one you couldn't trigger those fish, but day two you could. What was the difference in those days?
That next day, that morning was like from day one, it was kind of the sun got up. Like it was a little bit cloudy, but the sun hit the water a lot quicker. And then on day two, see, I left out at boat 13, day one. And this is part of my whole decision, you know, I'm kind of blessed it's all worked out, because if different boat numbers might have changed my decision, you know. But I had boat 13, so I had to pick of whatever. So I had 182 the last day. So I knew that stuff was gonna get smashed probably around that area, because people had been picked up on where I caught that 40 pounds, and I knew that I was like, and so I went to a closer spot to the ramp that I hadn't seen nobody on, and on day two, the clouds, you know, I had a late flight, but when I got there, it's kind of dark clouds, and had a nice chop on the water, you know, and it kind of extended that morning period by that second day. Interesting. So subtle, the changes and the differences that get it done, you know, and man, what an amazing ride. Thanks, JK, for going through that day three.
It's amazing.
What an amazing ending, and congratulations on just an amazing win. And you know, now I think all the Excaliburs are wiped out off the internet. Nobody will have those anymore. They're gone. But we've, you know, if I can do it, you want to do a tackle warehouse list right now, BTC?
Yeah, run it, man. I'll run it with Derek on here.
Yeah. Okay. We do a cool thing with tackle warehouse. Beans were, you know, you're catching all these giant fish on giant crankbaits. I asked Tackle Warehouse to put together a list of what the top selling big crankbaits are on for Tackle Warehouse, and it's always interesting to see this stuff. Do you have an idea? Anybody have a guess at what the number one, the best selling deep diving crankbait is?
Something next.
Are we talking oversized cranks?
No, they're in the mix. I'm talking about anything over 12 feet.
Oh, okay.
Anything that dives over 12 feet. The number one Tackle Warehouse selling bait.
I'd have to say a
6XD. Yeah, I'm with Derek.
Close, but no cigar.
How dare you?
Not it.
Dang.
Not it.
5XD. I guess they go 12.
All right, I'm gonna run it down. Chime in if you got a guess at number one. But here we go. Number 14 is the Silent 6XD.
This is the top 14 list?
Well, I'm going down because I got to go down, and you'll find out why shortly.
Okay.
It's the top 10, 14. The old school Norman DD22. Oh my gosh, that was the first diving crankbait that I ever caught a fish in deep water on. Yeah. Here we go. Coming in at number 12. You guessed it, guys. The 8XD, the winner of the last Toyota series. That's the number 12. 11 is the Strike King Pro Model 4, 5, and 6 series crankbaits. Now we get Bandit. Look at Bandit coming in at number 10. Azumi, the Timmy Horton Z-Boss crankbaits.
Never heard of it.
Strike King 10XD number 8. Ike's Inc. DT series. Okay. That alone coming in at number 7. Rapalas. Berkeley Dredger number 6.
Ooh. Good bait.
The other
smaller profile.
Yeah, the other DT series crankbaits are coming in at number 5. All those that aren't Ike's colors. So they're Rappala's got 5 and 7 locked up. Strike King 5XD number 4. 6 Cents Cloud 9 series. The Strike King Pro Model 6XD, which you guys all guessed at number 1, is number 2.
Oh.
Okay.
And number 1.
Oh wow.
River to Sea.
What?
Yeah.
River
The
to Sea.
tactical bassin guys. They're selling the crap out of that.
Tactical Bassin, Double D crankbait coming in Tackle Warehouse is the number 1 selling crankbait.
Really?
Anyone
ever thrown it?
Not me.
I got like 2 deep.
This first I've ever heard of
it. Well, clear there's some guys throwing it out there, you know. So
For sure.
Yeah, that's interesting. But I have a feeling after your big win, this 8XD is going to move up the list a little bit.
Yeah.
If it hasn't already. Thank you, Tackle
Derek,
Warehouse.
you got to make YouTube videos, and then people will buy them.
Yeah, right. They do a pretty good job at that. Thank you, Corey at Tackle Warehouse. We have amazing Tackle Warehouse stuff coming up right now. We've got a Tackle Warehouse little shopping spree that you can get if you buy an annual subscription, along with some other cool stuff at Bash University. So thank you, Tackle Warehouse. Everybody shops at Tackle Warehouse. So go check those guys out.
JK, last shot, buddy.
Man, I got to ask one more question, Pete.
Right.
What do you got?
Derek, you're obviously targeting these big fish. You're talking about swinging for the fences all the time, and you're doing it. You said you won 20 grand around the house last year, and you're not afraid to zero. So in my mind, you're dead set on 6 to 13 plus pounders at all times when you're doing this. So tell me what you can here. I'm going to ask you, what are the ingredients needed? Just all the ingredients that you can think of needed to get you around giant 10-pound fish, like that giant class. What's the ingredients from the environment, habitat, the food source? What do they need? Bottom content, anything that you can tell us to get our students and viewers closer there.
Number one's probably the grocery store. I mean, you can't be down there at the Fit Kitchen. You kind of need to be around where they got them big old nasty cheeseburgers, and you got to start off there and just kind of look for I don't know, just kind of depends on the set time of year, but something to hold them for them to hang up on within those areas, that bait's coming in and out and stuff like that. I don't know. I don't know if I answered all of it or not.
Like a feeding shelf almost, like there's deep water close by and that's like a channel's coming by it or something and they're traveling.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, gotta have the whole ecosystem, you need your deep water close, deeper water. I mean, it's relative to where you have your shed and all that, they got a place and, I don't know, like your big, like major points, stuff like that. Like your bigger areas are obviously going to hold more fish.
Okay.
And so, I mean, they tend to usually end up being community holes because of that, but they're community holes for a reason. You can get in these areas that's got the most fish, and you can find a catchable school, in those areas, just because they're just so, and big spawning areas adjacent to like these big offshore feeding areas, that just makes that a much larger population of fish, to live in that area.
Are these
so your percentages?
Awesome. Are you seeing them feed on big gizzard shad or white perch, yellow bass? What are those big ones on, especially on Rayburn? What are those big ones? What's their cheeseburger?
I mean, it's probably a gizzard shad or crappie. And then at certain times of year, they like eating big bluegill. But I've weighed in a lot of big fish, and I'm not 100%, but I think on that 10-pounder I caught the last day. I mean, I'm in a hurry, but I was pretty sure I seen the tip of a gizzard shad's tail poking out of her throat when I threw her in the live well. But it was so fast, and I didn't have time to study her, but I'm pretty sure I seen a tip of a gizzard shad tail in her throat. Yeah. But I've weighed in a lot of caught a lot of big fish, and that had part. I mean, you can just see where they just ate a gizzard shad, and you can see the fork sticking out of their throat.
Yeah, that makes obviously that makes a lot of sense. Big fish, big bait. Gosh, and you're dialed in on it.
What's your next event, John?
Excited to see.
John,
you going to the next Toyota series?
Derek. John on YouTube. Derek, what's your next event?
I'm not real sure. I may fish something small this weekend, but the next bigger one will probably be the BFL on Toledo Bend. I'm waiting. I'm supposed to pick up my boat tomorrow, and I should have it broke in. I'm gonna spend the whole week on Toledo and see if I can hem some up over there.
Keep them earnings down, bro. You got to get in that buddy trail. Stay under the radar.
Right.
Going to be hard to do. I mean, I was so impressed. Congratulations again. 2 monster wins, two record-setting early stringers. Yeah, and you know, we're so happy to have you, man. You've been part of the Bass U family for so long. That's been awesome. We're gonna make sure we hook you up with some cool Bass U garb. Appreciate you coming on and telling us the story, and wish you the best of luck this season.
Yeah, man.
Yes, sir. I sure appreciate it and enjoy being on the show.
Yeah.
All right. Well, great.
Thanks,
Thank
Derek.
you so much. Derek Mundy, the champ. 40 pounds.
Wow.
Dr. Mundy.
That was pretty awesome, man. I can't imagine what it looks like when you open up that live well and you're staring at 10s and 13s and 7s and 8s and all that great stuff. It must be amazing. Amazing.
Holding each other up.
That's just crazy good. But are we going to take a quick break?
Yes.
I know we've got some great, some really cool stuff. We're going to be doing some unboxing tonight. We're going to be looking at some really innovative, some new Gills Gear stuff. We've got $100 Gills Gear. There it is. Oh, sneak peek. We're going to be giving away a Gills Gear certificate for $100 worth of cool stuff.
Yep.
Tiger's coming on. He's going to give us the lowdown on what's happening. So we take a quick break, BTC, and come right back.
That's it, buddy.
All right. We'll be right back with more Bass U Live right after this.
Moment on the water not spent fishing is a moment wasted. That's why Minn Kota and Humminbird have joined forces to bring you the One Boat Network. Products that communicate and integrate to help you take full command of your boat. Born from our commitment to making the most advanced fishing gear even better by making it work together, the One Boat Network will help you find, get to, stay on, and catch more fish. When One Boat Network products talk to each other, they can navigate your boat automatically. They can give you a crystal clear view of what's below with no messy wires. And they can let you lower, raise, and change shallow water anchor modes from anywhere on the boat. But that's just the beginning. We're never done innovating, integrating, and making your boat simpler and easier to control. All so you can make every second on the water count.
Tackle Warehouse is proud to sponsor the FLW Pro Circuit and is the official tackle retailer of FLW, providing proven bass fishing gear as well as the newest and hottest tackle. Our friendly and knowledgeable customer service staff can help you every step of the way. And we offer free ground shipping on orders over $50. Tackle Warehouse. Everything for the bass angler at the lowest prices. Guaranteed.
I have to be constantly on the lookout for new techniques to stay on the top of my game.
Giant.
Some have been more successful than others.
Giant.
The finesse fingernail.
Happens every time.
The chain gang.
Broke it off.
The crow's nest.
Never let go.
And don't even get me started on tackle management, especially trying to stop rust and corrosion. Peanut butter.
Not good.
Motor oil.
Gotta keep the rust off all these baits.
WD-40.
Gotta keep the rust off.
Silica, toothpicks, Q-tips, the list goes on and on. I'm hard on tackle, I fish fast, I need my tackle organized and protected. I can't be worrying about losing baits to rust. And when it comes to tackle management, there's only one solution. Flambeau Tackle Storage Systems with Z-Rust technology. The original anti-rust tackle box. Uncompromised clarity. Renowned durability. The infused anti-rust option that is FDA safe and free of harmful chemicals. The organization options are endless, but there's only one. One box, one anti-corrosion technology, one family-owned, American-made brand, Flambeau Z-Rust Tackle Solutions. Preserve, perform, repeat.
Moment on the water not spent fishing.
BTC on the slide. No,
we are back with Bass University live, and BTC. I think we got to get Tiger's audio hooked up.
Working on it. Or he's
and
working on it.
appreciate you guys. What a great story. What a great ride about the process to locate, find. I love that he used 360 and how he's leaning on that. I find it so valuable in everything that I'm doing in fishing these days, and such a powerful tool. And seeing what they look like, seeing fish he thinks he can catch, it's so interesting.
Yep.
You got to wait for them to get down on the habitat. You got to wait for them to get down on the cover, and
that's
get
a blow your hair back moment right there, Pete. Is the him identifying that these fish are catchable, and understanding that a fish on a piece of habitat, right? It's on that piece of habitat for a reason. It's set up to eat. He said and he referred to it as the groceries. The groceries are there.
Yep.
The fish is set up, and it's going to eat. That's just that's next level stuff.
It is.
Yeah,
next
that's the
level
dinner
stuff.
table, right? That's the dinner table.
Yep.
He identifies the dinner table. I thought that was crazy cool.
I down on Douglas Lake, I had a similar experience at a relatively recent tournament there. The fish get real deep there, so it's really cool to be able to use your electronics to identify stuff like that. And I noticed when you would go over schools of fish on places that were virtually uncatchable, they would be up. They would not be tight on the bottom. And they would, be meandering around and difficult to target and catch. But I caught like 2 5-pounders in a row on back-to-back casts. And what I did, this is one of the best things I ever did, is after I caught those 2 fish, I drove over the point with down scan and 2D sonar to see what that school of fish look like. And, how was it different from the other schools of fish that I've been driving over? And it was exactly as Derek just described it. Those fish were tight. They were tight together and they were stuck to the bottom. The big arches were just pinned right on the hard cover. And, close together, competing. You get any bait down there near them and you're catching that fish,
That's awesome.
Pretty cool stuff. And really neat. Glad to have him on. Glad to have another Texas man. Glad to have another Bass University guy on, a doctor.
Right.
Dr. Mundy.
It's all about it seems like it's all about, there's always some key factors. It's the habitat, it's the food source, it's the, the fish being set up in an area, to be able to, to prey on that food source, on the habitat. And that really doesn't change whether you're fishing from a boat or you're a guy fishing from the bank. I mean, you're still looking for those same characteristics. You know, if you're a guy walking the bank, you're looking for pieces of habitat that are gonna hold fish to be able to prey on the bait fish. If you're on a boat, you're doing the same thing. Whether you're utilizing your electronics or you're looking at the bank, it's the habitat, it's the food sources, it's the opportunities for those big fish to feed and get what they need.
You're exactly right, Rich. And you know that's the whole thing, right? These are predators we're after, and we've got to identify, you know, places that they can easily catch food, and that's what we're targeting as fishermen. And the thing that I think was cool about him was his mental, I call it mental toughness. He's like, no, I'm not going to go up and just throw a lipless bait, you know, because it's tough. You know, I'm going to stay out here and I'm going to keep grinding, looking for that bigger bite and as long as I possibly can before I punt. And that mentality is absolutely what's required to get something like that done. And it was neat. He did it twice. I'm surprised they're not, you know, I'm surprised everybody's still giving them love, man. You know, you see that a lot, you know,
Same
where,
here.
like getting pissed off, like 40 pounds. Come on. He won that tournament by 16 pounds over second place.
Yeah, he broke Rich's record.
That's right. What was your margin, Rich?
8
on the bag?
8 pounds.
8
pounds.
something like that. 6, 7, 8.
Yeah,
6, 7, 8,
that's
9
dominant.
Six,
That's
7, 8,
dominant.
Yeah,
That's a strong. That's a real
and he did it
measure
in a
of
one-day event.
2-day event.
No,
he did it in a one-day event. Wow.
Yeah, right.
That's strong.
That's Texas for you.
Yeah. That's pretty impressive stuff.
Hey, we got any IMs? We're working on Tiger's audio.
Yeah,
getting him set up. So
yep, we got Bruce on the message board.
Bruce
just wanted to chime in, let us know. He said you guys do a great job. Love learning from you. He's been a member for 6 or so years.
Bruce,
can't wait for every new live show. Yeah, we appreciate hearing that, man. We're having a great time doing this, and you know, you guys keep it going for us. So the message board is always fired up, making my job easy.
That's awesome.
How about a little top 5? I've got something to fill the time while Brian's working on that audio.
Perfect.
I've got my professional fish head top 5, guys, and the theme of the night
Johnny
is
Morse
giant
is not
bass.
in your top 5. Let me guess. For eliminating you from that team trail.
Nope.
Oh,
Yep.
no, we're not going to go down that.
BTC
down that road.
just eliminated any Bass Pro Shop sponsors from joining the Bass U program.
Hey,
Thank
they
you
got
for
to
that.
appreciate honesty. It's all right. It is what it is.
It's all good. It's all good. What do you got?
Well, as I was saying, it's all about giant bass, big bass, centered around guys. If you go on that wonderful categories button on Bass U TV, you know, the great wide world of that Bass U TV library opens up. You get the categorized stuff. If you click on the category, it's near the bottom, but you click on big bass, like big bass. There's tons of videos, tons. So I'm giving you my professional fish head top 5 videos geared to helping you catch giants. These are the ones that have meant the most to me. These are the ones that I've learned the most from and actually have paid off for me. I think a lot of them can help all of them can help you all over the country. But for me, this has helped me shorten the learning curve in all this. So at number 5 is Carl Jacobson with his giant swim baits for giant tournament bass. He dives into a lot of awesome tips in this one. Talking about a lot of unique stuff that guys aren't doing. Braid to fluoro. He really geeks out on his setups. But one of the best things is he introduces some new sneaky big swim baits and talks about some that maybe some of the other guys are throwing as well. But not just swim baits. He dives into some other random big baits that he's throwing as well, and talked about some tournaments to back it up. Back in I think that was filmed in 2019.
Yeah.
Harris chain.
Well, this was in the seminar. This is a classroom seminar.
Oh, okay.
This isn't the on water stuff.
Yeah, he's got a demonstration on the Harris chain, just as a supplemental.
Yeah, that's for the gliders, right?
Right.
Yep. So this was glide baits and more, man, and it definitely helped me learn a lot of stuff when we're talking about throwing those big baits on that big line and rod and stuff. Number 4, we have our pal Fred Rumbanis, longtime Bass UTV instructor, with top 5 giant baits going big to catch kicker, to catch kicker bass. So I don't think anybody could guess all 5 baits that he touches on, and I'm not going to spoil it because I want everybody to go watch the seminar. But he does touch on a Magnum spoon being a really big deal for him to catch kickers offshore. And then
of the frogs in there.
I can't remember if he put the frog in there or not.
Gotta be.
It's gotta be, man.
This wasn't a frog seminar, Pete. This was 5 giant baits.
Yeah, I've been around Freddie. I'm pretty sure the frog's gonna be on that list. That'd be my guess.
I don't think it is, guys. I actually know all 5, and I'm pretty sure it's not on there. Now, there is one sneaky soft plastic bait on there that doesn't get a lot of love. It won't make any top tackle warehouse lists, that he credits a lot of big fish catches over 6 pounds on in the seminar. And I'm not going to give that up tonight either. Go watch the seminar.
Come on.
Killing me right now, JK.
It's the 5-inch biffle bug, the big one, the big one.
Yeah.
He uses it different ways, and that's really cool. So
thank you for that. I appreciate you giving that up. That was too much of a cliffhanger, but go ahead.
I don't want to give all the top 5 out because that's what the seminar is all about. His top 5 that he's really put the most bass in the boat on. Now, number 3, this is one that I attended my first Bass U seminar, my first one. This seminar was given in Orange, Texas, I believe. And it is Davey Height with his big baits, as he calls them. This is a different category than maybe Fred's seminar, so it's going to be a different flavor. But it's his big baits that he relies on for big bass. You'll hear about his cranking and swim baits, and as we know, Davey had a good little run there towards the end of his career in some tournaments. I believe he won Pickwick on a swim bait and stuff, but you know what we all know he made famous, and what's near and dear to my heart was the Buckeye mop jig. Yeah. Exactly. And he talks about that in scenarios that he's used that near the house and all over the country. And I love that seminar. Learned a lot in person, and I've watched it over and over again. Coming in at number 2 is none other than the big bass specialist himself, Ish Monroe, with plain and simple targeting big bass. I mean, this one is all in on true giant bass. You know, Ish, he just wants to fish for big ones and unashamed about it. And this class was all about that. It was about the techniques, of course. It's easy to guess the techniques if you know Ish, frogging and flipping and a few other things. But more so what you're going to garner from this seminar is where to find them, how to find the biggest bass on a fishery, and Ish believes he's got something figured out there. So great seminar.
He's such a great teacher and one of our most popular teachers for sure.
He is. And that's why he will get hired year after year for Bass UTV, because he gives up the goods. He knows how to do it. He's probably a top 5 seminar instructor of all time. Let's be honest, as far as the ability to teach, he's arguably there.
Agreed. And I'm looking at something from 2009 up there, and Ish Monroe is on the bill on the very first Bass University, and continues to be with us. Appreciate you, Ish.
Yep.
Great pick.
Yeah, I love that one. And that's an older seminar. I don't know when it was shot, but it was before my time. So that's older than 6 years. It was before my time with Bass U. So
speaking of older, I could not believe that Derek gave up the Excalibur He said rattle trap 3 times.
I know, and he finally gave it up.
Yeah,
that's what everybody else is throwing for. Everybody's paying $40 to $50 for him too. Love
there it is. It's out now. His wife is now $40. What?
She's not listening anymore. I'm sure. I'm sure he's free and clear.
I hope so. If not, sorry, Derek. We didn't mean to out you, buddy.
Yeah, he earned a few dollars over the
Yeah.
weekend. Hey, I think we got Tiger from
I got-
Gills Gear coming on here. He had to.
Do you want go number one, JK?
Number one. We got to go number one. So number one was more personal for me, and I learned a lot from this episode. It's Justin Lucas find and catch spawning bass off beds. Now, this isn't your typical sight fishing seminar, right? This is Justin Lucas is known for finding like the biggest spawning bass when it's on, especially when the spawn's just like barely there and it's mostly post spawn. He's a great sight fisherman too. But the biggest thing that you will learn from this seminar, and that what I garnered, and I weighed in a lot. I think during the spawn this year, we did better than ever in our team tournaments. I'm no good at the spawn, but this seminar helped me step up my game. And it's these two things that he's going to teach you. It's when he dives into catching spawners you can't see in dirty water, as well as the ones you also cannot see in clear water. So it's all about when that spawn's on and you can't see them, and knowing how to fish for them, knowing how to find them and target them. And dude, we never got to talk about it. We weren't weekly and stuff, but this spring that paid off. A lot of these lessons in that seminar paid off. And I know a lot of my competitors are out there listening, so I'm going to go make them dig it up themselves.
Hey,
but
Jake,
there it is. There's your top 5 of the week.
Great list. Big top 5 big fish seminars at Bass University. As always, I appreciate it. And we're going to switch gears here in just a minute. As I saw our guest.
There he is.
There he is. A lot of you guys know Gills Gear is the official gear of Bass University TV, and we love the stuff. The clothing is amazing. It's high tech. It's performance gear, second to none. And I'm super excited. Tonight we have the man at Gills Gear, Tiger Huffman, with us tonight. Good to have you with us, buddy. Good to have you with us, Tiger.
Sir. What's up, Tiger?
What's going on, boys? How you guys doing tonight?
Man, we're doing great. We're doing great. We got the audio glitch figured out. We can hear you now. It's good to hear you, buddy.
Thank goodness. I know, right? So how you guys enjoying that snow all the way up in the Northeast?
Hey, we love the snow. I don't mind the snow. My problem is the ice. It won't let me launch my boat, Tiger. I'm landlocked right now.
Well, there's some property for sale down the road from my house here in Florida.
Send me some links, buddy. I saw the images of the Gills Gear boats out in big seas that you sent me recently. Was that today? When was it?
It was this past weekend down in Marathon. We were offshore, going for sales, tuna, kings, like crazy. And it was like between 4 and 6s pretty much all weekend long.
Unbelievable.
It looked pretty sporty. You could see the boats disappear in the trough of the next wave. I'm like, I've been out there before, man. That's some pretty heavy water.
Sporty.
The craziest part about this weekend was, we saw a bluefin that was probably around 450 pounds going through a wave that was higher than my head.
Oh my God.
As the stern of the boat goes down, wave comes up, and all of a sudden you see this big bluefin just sit there and just cut right through the daggone wave. All you saw was a big old shadow.
Wow.
That is awesome.
I can't even imagine.
Did you throw a Senko out and lead them?
You try to, but the problem is you try to judge it with the fact that you're trying to throw 6 feet higher than usual and then go further. It messes you up a little bit, but no, it was pretty exciting.
But have you ever tried to land a 4-pound smallmouth with treble hooks in his mouth?
No.
That's tricky too.
That reminds me of in Florida. A lot of times in the summer, you can see sharks swim through the waves
Yeah.
on the beach.
Yeah.
Like
On the beach, yeah.
as the waves come into a crest, you'll see a shark on bait fish go through the waves. Pretty crazy stuff. Two
Yeah,
different
well, you
worlds we
saw-
live in. We're chasing little green fish. These guys are chasing giant toothy
450 pounds.
Yeah.
Crazy. And how far offshore are you?
Not. I don't even think we were 3 miles offshore.
Holy crap.
We're only speaking about maybe 180 feet deep, about.
Pete would
But
have
with-
swim fins
with-
on,
like-
the orange swim fins.
We're catching, sails in 40 feet of water down there. So, I mean, this time of year, they come in a little bit shallower because more concentrated on the inside, but it all varies. I mean, we've said that I've seen people catch sails. When I say 10 feet of water, that's maybe 10 feet of water. So it's just the shallower the water gets, of course, the warmer it is. So sometimes it draws them in a little bit closer because the bait fish congregate a little bit closer.
That's really cool. I know.
That's
Well,
mind-blowing.
we fish the shelf up here in Jersey. I've been out there a few times, and it's like 60, 70 miles offshore to get in that kind of depth. And it's really cool. Down where you're at, man, it's right off the beach.
Pretty much.
That's pretty awesome. Well, for those of you that don't know, Tiger is your competitor. I mean, you compete in these tournaments like we do for bass. You compete for a multitude of species down there in Florida.
Yeah, I do professional redfish tournaments and offshore tournaments, going from bottom fishing for snapper, grouper, whatever, and then the pelagics going for the sails, tuna, mahi, wahoo, the whole 9 yards. So I like it. It keeps me busy and keeps me out of trouble.
I can appreciate that. And I would say redfish are probably the most similar to what we do.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, there's a certain bait that I use that you guys use to catch bass that I'm using to catch redfish. The Sabile stick shad.
Senko.
I'll throw it all day long, and we're sitting there beating the redfish up on a nice clear day, depending on the time of the day. But we pretty much do almost the exact same thing. So I use a spinning rod and reel where you guys throw bait casters.
Look at that, spinning rods. What,
Yeah, that's cool.
What is this Sabile bait? Is it a swim bait? Is it a
This is a suspending. This is a suspending bait. Just a little twitch bait.
like a jerk, like a treble hook minnow style bait?
Yep.
Okay. Yep. Well, we obviously do that quite a bit. I've caught some redfish. Redfish get mixed in with the bass in a lot of places that we fish, and of course, but they get a lot bigger than bass do. I just bring that up because you're one of us, right? You're a hardcore angler, just like us, just like the guys watching Bass University TV, and Gills Gear designs gear for us, right?
Yes, sir.
For guys that compete, or guys that just want to fish hardcore all day long. It's the best gear. It's the gear that just won't fatigue you. Tell us a little bit more about it, Tiger.
So with our Gills Gear, especially our apparel side, we use a fabric called Gills Tech. It's a little bit thinner. It's more comfortable. The way that we have it designed ourselves is that it allows for the moisture to be pulled away from the skin, separated out through the whole garment, which basically gives you a whole 360-degree cooling effect. So instead of just like one part of your shirt, let's just say, hypothetical, your armpit just sweats. Next thing you know, you just have the armpit stains. Well, it actually takes that moisture and spreads out through the entire garment and allows that any part of the wind sits there and can cool you off quickly. And it actually allows it to evaporate a lot faster. So that way you don't have like the armpit stains or sweat stains on your neck or anything. So just a little bit, we're more technological based, especially around the cooling side, because at the end of the day, when you guys are out fishing all day long, it could be spring, it could be summer. Biggest thing that most people get off the water for is because they're too hot. They can't get cool enough. So we try to make things a little bit easier.
Yeah, well, it's not the current situation at my house right now. but it's coming. Down on the Chesapeake, we have water temperatures that reach 90+ degrees. And, it gets sweltering hot and it's stifling. And Gills Gear keeps you cool. It keeps you fishing. You guys want to check it out. And one of the other cool things about it is, and we were talking about this, Tiger, is you guys were innovators in face shields and being able to keep your glasses from getting fogged up, putting vents there that you guys were first.
Oh yeah. So I mean, anyone that when the face mask first came out for anglers, that was the biggest complaint, is that automatically your sunglasses start fogging up. Well, we figured out a way so it doesn't. And at the same time, we figured out a way to help also cool the angler off that has a face mask on a lot quicker, because the fastest way to cool off the body is through your neck. So we created actually gill slits in the sides of our mask that allow the wind to go through and goes directly straight to the back of your neck, which cools you off 10 times quicker.
Outstanding. Well,
the biggest thing with gills too is it's the breathability. It's so I've noticed that it's the gear is so versatile. It's not only something you wear on the water, but it's just useful for whether you're somebody that works outside and it's hot, or you need to stay cool in certain situations. And on that note, I have a real good friend of mine, a buddy that I fish team tournaments with a lot. He's a full-time landscaper, and he's been wearing gills for years, and he's in the sun all day long, every single day, and he refuses to wear short sleeves because his body's exposed to the sun all day, every single day when he's on that mower, and he's been rocking gills since before I even knew anything about it. So that's just a testament to the quality of the brand, is that these guys that are wearing this, we're not just all necessarily on the water. It works for whether you're just on the water or you just need to be out in the sun every day. It's great stuff.
You're 100% correct, man. That's gills have been around now going on 13 years, and when it was first brought to my attention, brought to me, up until 2008, I would never been able to been on the water for more than 4 hours because, one, I'm a type 1 diabetic and I had open heart surgery when I was first born. So some of the medication that I'm on, makes me extremely sun sensitive. So 4 hours was the max. Well, when I met Kent, showed me the shirt, the next day when I went out fishing was the first time I actually fished from sun up to sundown out on the water, because, 98% blockage of the UVs, it's SPF of 50 factor, so it helps out immensely. But yeah, a lot of people use it for different things. I mean, I'm able to go out and do all the fun stuff here in Florida year round because I'm protected from the sun for it.
Man, that's great. And what a great story, Rich. You need to tell your friend he needs to exchange his landscaping for fishing.
Yes. Yeah. Well, he does. He's a very good fisherman too. No, Chris.
Oh, okay.
No,
yeah. Yep.
Hutchinson.
No,
Yep.
Chris.
Okay.
We need to get you.
Shout out to
fishing
Hutchscapes.
Hutchscapes.
Well,
Pete, you get your box?
We've got 12 inches of snow here. It shut down all shipments. I did not get my and I'm so disappointed, but I see that my guys did. Justin, you have yours?
Oh yeah, I got mine.
Yeah, everybody.
Go ahead and pull it out, guys. This is a little goodie bag. Go ahead and pull it out.
Yep,
You guys
Tiger.
check it out.
It's just like always. Everybody gets their stuff. I'm the last guy to get my stuff. That's the way it always works,
I can't wait to pull it out. I had to take my Gills
Go
Gear
ahead.
off because it was rubbing up on my mic and I got cold. So I need some sleeves.
This is very cool. Gills
sick.
Gear has hooked the crew up with some stuff. We're gonna do an unboxing. JK, you're first, man. Show me what you got.
I'm going. I got the short sleeve Bass U colors, man.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
It's our tournament short sleeve shirt. But if you'll check it out, check underneath the arms and down the sides.
Look at the breathing. Look at that.
Yep.
Oh.
And then right here. Now
Yes, sir.
that's where it's gonna get me bad right there, boys. So that's what
That's
Tiger's
the bad
talking
spot.
about. That's the bad spots, and then it's gonna take that moisture and spread it all the way through. It's like a whole system here, guys.
Dude, I love
unreal.
I love the Bashu colors.
I do too, man. Oh my gosh, this is perfect. You
So
know
if
me, I
you're
like to
also-
wear that loud orange.
Oh, heck yeah. Well, the other good part about, especially that venting where it is, down across your shoulder blades and down your sides, it also gives it that little bit more stretch. So that way, even though it may be, some guys like to wear it a little bit tighter or form fitting, but it's still, you don't feel like it's stuck to you. It allows you to sit there and move. And, when you're casting all day, you don't have to worry about stuff sticking to you, feeling uncomfortable. It still allows you to sit there and be able to fish as hard as you want to, no matter what.
That's key. That's what we want. We're all hardcore guys, and I want to pass it on over to Rich, but I see Rich is having a production meeting right now that I can see him having going on. Tiger, I'm so sad I don't have my box, man. I'm looking out the window. I keep checking it every 5 minutes to see if it
I want to pull another one out.
Pull it out, then.
I'm doing it. Oh man, I like this.
Oh, yeah. That's our new tournament V3 with those.
Cool. Is that is that a long sleeve?
It's long sleeve, but man, dude, this what are we calling this, Tiger? This breathable stuff.
It's our venting.
All right, so you got the vents all the way down, guys. Right,
all the way down the sleeve.
Now, if you could put your arm in there, because you'll see. I mean, it's not like there's like a whole bunch of holes where if you're exposed to the sun, you're going to have a fishnet tan line. You literally will be completely covered, still with the 98% UV protection, still with the SPF 50, but it's not like you're showing everything. And is it comfortable?
It's super comfortable, guys. Like, I can't wait to wear this in the heat because it's cooling me off right now. It really is.
How does it feel like across your shoulders and across your back and everything?
I mean, it's like it's not there, honestly.
And that's the whole reason and the whole mentality around how we design our gears, because we don't want you guys to have to worry about what you're wearing. You don't have to worry about, I got this going to happen. It's just one less thing we have to worry about. That way we can focus on what we're out there to do, and that's to catch big fish.
No doubt.
And it looks good, guys. I mean, that's a fly shirt. I don't care what you say.
I don't care what you say.
I don't care what you said.
Open up your box, man.
Yeah, I'm over here waiting, I'm looking at the clasps, wanting to dive into the thing. First things first, I want to say that this box that you guys sent it in, it's bad to the bone. I already have ideas of what this is going to be utilized for in the boat. It's got a metal handle. It's so official. It's got my name on it. Come on. All right,
dude.
Let's dive into this thing.
Awesome. That's so cool, man.
Thank you. First shirt is the Tournament Series long sleeve UV shirt. It's got the awesome design as always. It's got the Gills look.
Justin's already sat there and put it on. Justin's already wearing it and supporting it like crazy. He's like, he's not waiting.
Dude, I love it. I got that one that also comes over your
the pulse breaker.
Yeah, man, I've been wearing that one in the tournaments, and it does. My sunglasses do not fog. That is the biggest pain point of my fishing 16 tournament years. That is the biggest pain point. Yeah. My sunglasses fog when I try to protect my nose. So what happens? I protect my whole body, but my nose gets burnt because I got to keep it away. But with this, I'm good.
And it's built into the shirt.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's built in. It's part of it.
Yep.
All right. So the next one I'm going to pull out is the Gills Contender Raglan long sleeve UV shirt. And what I really like about this one is that it's got a sleek kind of low profile, just black front design.
Yeah, it's nice.
With the patented Gills look going down the sleeves. And the beauty of this one is that it matches my new boat. The same color scheme. So this one you will for sure be seeing me rock on the new to me 2018 Bass Cat Cougar.
Certified.
Yes.
I think we all have the same pattern Cougars.
Yes.
I think
We
they're all
do.
the same. They're the same
Oh
pattern.
yeah.
Yep. We're all running black with highlights this year. BTC, what do you got?
Rich, you got one more?
I got one more. I got the BU official orange Gills Gear.
Yeah.
Another contender shirt.
You got a long sleeve shirt.
It's another long sleeve, and I love wearing long sleeves. I'm the same way when I'm on the water in the late spring, summer, late summer, early fall. I'm long sleeves all the time. I get really bad tan lines, but you know what? Having that long sleeve on, it keeps me feeling good in the sun. It helps keep the heat off me, and you know I'm a sun up to sun down kind of guy, so I need to have good gear to keep me going.
Well, you know, that's one of the awesome things about you know, the new spring 21 line is some of the things that we weren't able to send you guys, but I know you guys are in the process of getting them ordered, is the new face masks that are going to be coming out. We have a lot of them that are in the bass print, a lot of them are in solid colors. You can definitely check it out on our website. But also for the first time this year, we're rolling out our new angler protection gloves, the sun protection gloves.
Nice.
that protect the top of your hands and all the way up to your fingertips, be able to protect it from the sun that way. Because forever and a day, that's always been my biggest one. It's like you literally look at my hand, you can tell right where the daggone shirt sleeve stops because it's always right here is nothing but sun. But now we have the gloves come out. We have the bass pattern, and we have a black and white pattern also as well rolled out this year. So it's a pretty exciting days for us.
Excellent.
That's awesome. Do we got any questions coming in, Riz? It seems like some guys want to ask Tiger questions.
Yeah, I kind of got sidetracked a little bit by this box. I was like a little kid on Christmas here.
I know, me
It's give me a second here to get caught up.
Howie
wants to know, Tiger, or what's your best recommendation on how to launder the Gills Gear? Do you have to do anything special with it, or can you just throw it in the laundry and let it ride?
That's one of the other things about our Gills Tech fabric is that it's chemical free. You know, you have some of these shirts that, you know, it says, oh, we cool you faster. But if you ever notice, you get in the water, you've got that looks like an oil slick going behind you. Well, our shirts are chemical free. So it's just like any other performance shirt. You wash it in cold water. And then if you dry it, don't use fabric softener. Don't use a fabric softener sheet or anything like that, because the fabric softener actually, over time, any performance shirt, it breaks down the performance shirt's coloring and the stretchability of it. So no fabric softener. Yeah, you can dry it regularly, just don't use any type of fabric softener. And I wash it in cold water.
Man, I never knew that. That's a good tip out there, guys. And I have luckily been spared because my wife is too cheap to buy fabric softener sheets. No dryer sheets in this house. Very.
She's frugal. Taking care of the family, JK. You got to appreciate that.
Yeah.
BTC. Oh my gosh.
And my wife makes every shirt really small and tight.
That keeps her husband skinny.
Yeah, well, yeah. And
cool.
So first thing here is the Gills Gear hat. And if you guys ever, you know, you got a new hat, you always notice they have the white thing that's in you know, to keep the hat upright. You can repurpose that.
To look like a walrus.
That's right. Multi-purpose. Guys, take advantage of all the opportunities life provides you. That's all I'm trying to say. So
that hat looks sharp, and and you know what? Tiger, it's been great, and I appreciate that you gave us all these gifts. And you said, you know, one of the things that when I first met you that I was so impressed by is you've been through a lot, and you fish because every day counts.
Yes, sir.
And as Brian's holding up the Bashu stuff, but tell me about that. Like, every day's a gift is the way that I look at it. How do you look at it after being through that heart surgery early on in your life? And here you are, you could have gone so many different ways. You're fishing every day, Tell me what that means to you.
literally having open heart surgery early and having parents that never ever allowed me to use any of my disabilities as a crutch. It's just to go and go as hard as you can. And then, over the years, I developed type 1 diabetes later in life, had a couple other major medical issues go on as it was going. And, before I was 21, I had come to the determination that I've been through so much medical. You've been in the hospital so many times. You've had so many surgeries. You've done this, you've done that. I made a decision that I'm never going to live another day with regret, no matter what. And I loved fishing. And then, when I found the ability to fish from sun up to sundown, I try to take advantage of it as much as possible. It's just one of those things that God put you here for a reason. I'm still trying to figure out my reason, but it's literally just to live life every day to the fullest, because you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. And whatever allows you to do so, take full advantage of it. Don't take anything for granted, and just go hard nonstop.
No doubt, man. Well,
Awesome.
great advice.
Foot on the gas pedal, baby.
Yeah.
Wide open. I mean, that's why I'm like, I love all types of fishing. I mean, truly the only fishing that I don't see myself ever doing is sitting in a hut or in a tent over a sheet of ice.
I'm with you, bro.
No, man.
I'm with you, dude.
Dude, that's it. You and Kim are both coming up next winter.
Nope, not
and
doing
we're
it.
getting in a ice shanty, and we're gonna drill holes in the ice and figure it out.
And you have to pay me to do it. You
Yeah.
gotta break out the checkbook to get me to do it.
No.
It'll be the last thing I'm up there to shoot people.
Shout out to Kenneth Chu, who watched our Bash University seminars a couple of weeks ago from his ice hut.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Yeah. He was ice fishing and watching Bash UTV live seminars at the same time. It was epic.
Kenny
on a Zoom call, and we could see him. We could see him.
That's
Tiger,
commitment.
He was stacking bluegills up for dinner, like on the ice, and watching our seminars. It was so cool. Where was he, Rich? Did he ever say?
North.
Antarctica.
Antarctica.
That's south.
That is south.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, bro.
Hey, it's still icy there. It's still icy, even in the summertime.
I see all these pictures and posts on social media, people ice fishing and everything, and I'm looking at the day summit. I'm going, wait a minute, the snook bite's going off right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Great fish coming in. Whatever. I'm like, nah, I'd rather just sit down here in Florida and enjoy my nice warm weather and fish 12 months out of the year in comfort.
Yeah.
Stop
It's
it.
like,
man.
how
man, this ain't cool, bro.
Yeah, we got 8 inches of snow in the driveway outside.
And my back hurts. Both our back hurts from shoveling today.
It's like
Hey,
Tiger's trying to figure out how to fly his sailfish kite over an ice hole. Tricky.
With weights.
It's good stuff. Well, I appreciate it. We come down to Florida all the time, and we're going to be down there. We hope to visit you, and hopefully you can make up this way and visit us and do some fishing up this way. But amazing stuff. We have a great $100 gift certificate from Gills Gear.
We do, and we're going to hit that question in a second here, Pete. We also, for Bass U subscribers, have a promo code. I'm not going to release it out here in public, but 15% off for Bass U subscribers. Just go to the website.
25.
What is it?
25. Oh, yeah.
25.
25.
My eyes are going.
Order.
I'm sorry. That's
For all Bass U subscribers, get a 25% off discount code.
That's even better.
That's awesome.
That's right. Pro member benefits. Just go to your My Account tab on your Bash U TV subscription, and you can get access to all of the pro member benefits on that tab, which includes the 25% off for Gills Gear.
Yeah, there's a pile, dude. It
is.
actually pays you.
It's the deal.
To be a subscriber.
deal.
I don't know why anybody wouldn't.
The amount of money you save on just product by being a Bash U TV member is off the charts.
Yeah, anybody that isn't a subscriber is kind of silly.
Right? The guy that we just had on is catching 40-pound bags back to back. Has been watching the product for 7 years.
Yeah, Wiz from the start.
Oh, whatever. Whatever.
Brian, how are we giving away this gift certificate? What
Well,
are we
we
doing?
have a question. Derek Mundy was just on, and Rich, you got the message board?
Yep. He had a key secondary presentation in that 40-pound bag that he weighed in, which was a jig. He put down the crankbait and he picked up a jig, but there was something super key about that jig in his trailer, which affected the fall rate. What was his trailer?
I want to answer so I can get the gift certificate.
You can't do it, Pete. We won't allow
Come
it.
on. I
What
know
was
the
Derek
answer.
Mundy's trailer on his jig in his 40-pound bag?
Oh my goodness! I think they're going to get the answer to this
Yeah.
question.
Need it to be
than a
specific,
can-do
guys.
question.
We don't need just the oh, yeah, we already have one.
He was listening.
Yep. Our guys are always listening. So we got a winner of Mike P with a V&M jig with a Sweet Beaver trailer.
Sweet Beaver.
Congratulations, Mike P.
$100.
How about
So
the
fast.
saltwater Tiger? Do you guys ever use the Sweet Beaver?
No. No.
But snook fishing, we talked about red fishing being a lot like bass. Snook's a lot. There's a lot of similarities there too. You're casting to cover, to docks, shadow lines.
And it's almost all inshore saltwater fishing is just like bass fishing. You know, I grew up with a little bit of bass fishing, but primarily it was all saltwater. But talking to friends and talking to some of our pro staff and everything, I mean, it's truly. Sometimes it may be just a little bit of a color difference, but the same. You could literally take all of your bait that you guys have in your tackle box, come down here to fish any inshore and catch snook, red, and trout just like you would catch a bass, guaranteed. I mean, you wouldn't have to buy anything extra special unless someone said, "Oh, you should throw this." But I guarantee, if you have confidence in your artificial game in salt or in freshwater, then you'll come to saltwater and just do the exact same thing. The only little bits that you have to figure out is just like you guys, structure, points, tides. Tides are really big, especially in the saltwater game.
Yeah.
So, but it's same artificials work just as well.
Don't fish.
Yeah, he's not kidding. We were
park out there. Don't fish the reef. Right?
Don't fish the reef.
Yeah.
You got to remember that, guys.
Yeah, so he's not kidding, guys. Like I literally we went to Florida for Thanksgiving on the coast, and I got up with a buddy who moved down there, took me out on the bay. We were going to go red fishing. I took one rod and like some jig heads, a pack of flukes and some top waters and stuff. Dude, my buddy catches like an 8 to 9 pound redfish on a super spook that day. And then the rest of the day, we literally skipped docks with a jig head and a fluke. And you're like, it's like you're skipping a wacky rig Cinco up under a dock. Sometimes you're sight fishing and you see one swim over there, you lead it and it eats it. But you're just snapping a fluke and they're just ripping it. It's just like bass fishing. It's crazy. It's fun too.
Tiger, do they have snook tournaments?
Well, they used to, but we've cut back on it because a couple of years ago we had a bad freeze, and then with red tide, the snook kind of took a little bit of hit. So we don't necessarily target them for tournaments, not any longer anyway, until that population comes back. There's parts of Florida where, redfish, you can't keep a redfish because when the red tide came close, it pushed a lot of them out. It killed a lot of them. But they're starting to come back. So to compensate for that tournament wise, where you typically, it's one redfish per angler, you bring it to the table for the weigh-in. So now what we're doing is like the Power Pole Go Live Redfish Series. It's literally, we hit the live button on your phone, you record the catch, you record the landing, then we weigh the fish. So it doesn't matter how big it is lengthwise, where typically it has to be between 17 and 27 inches.
Right.
But you put it on the scale that's provided to you, and if it's over 8 pounds, the fish is no good. So it's basically the first 2 fish to 16 pounds is the winner or closest to. So it makes it so much easier. Now we don't have to worry about, putting the fish in the live well, bringing it back. We're doing everything on a go live through Facebook. It allows people to sit there and participate from like for the west coast of Florida, for example, you know, it goes all the way down from Naples all the way up to like Clearwater, Florida, that whole region. So you have literally an angler from all over the place sitting there fishing, and it doesn't matter because we're all going live on it. You're able to watch the videos and people can follow it. It's pretty cool.
Great.
So
That's great. You have the red tide down there. That's so, like, we have it up here. We've had some Chesapeake Bay kills because we deal with oxygen depletion scenarios. I guess that's what the red tide is, right? I don't.
It is. I mean, there's one they finally figured out. Red tide, it comes from nothing man-made, nothing man-done. It is literally an algae that comes up from the bottom offshore. There's a couple theories of where the algae is coming from that's actually developing offshore. I mean, one of the theories is some of the dust particles that are actually being blown off of the Sahara Desert there in Africa and being blown into the Gulf.
Right.
And those things are laying in the Gulf. And next thing you know, you have the red algae bloom, but it's nothing man-made. It depends on the water temperature sometimes. The higher the water temperature, the bigger the bloom. If we have a lot of west wind, that usually pushes it up closer. That's when we end up getting the big scares. But the best part is, you know, we have FWC, we have a whole bunch of different scientists down here that are testing the water every day to see if there's any detection of red tide at all, because if there is, you know, we try to do our best to try to manage it, let everyone know about it, and trying to really, really preserve all the species that we have over here. It's not bad every year. You hear a little bit about it every year, but it's mostly just those years that daggone well, if we're getting a whole bunch of hurricanes on the West Coast, then daggone well the red tide's getting pushed up in. So
wow.
You know, it's just like everywhere else. I mean, it's one of those things that, you know, we try to do everything we can to truly preserve our species. That way, you know, my kids, my grandkids can sit there and fish. So for right now, there's certain areas of Florida where you just can't keep a snook, redfish, and trout because the population got depleted. We're just trying to preserve it, trying to make sure the quality is better, allow the fish that, you know, necessarily didn't come up into Tampa Bay, because Tampa Bay being one of the biggest reservoirs in the country, it's a breeding ground for so many different species. It just allows them to come back in. It's a catch and release only on certain species, and we just manage it and roll with it.
Well, it's crazy. I can appreciate it. You know, we hear the news about it, and of course we deal with it here. But you know, we all love this sport, and I'm glad you guys are out there watching it and protecting it like we are. It's so awesome to have you on. I'm so jealous that all the guys got a cool package of Gills Gear, and mine's still stuck in the snow.
Blame the mailman, Pete.
Exactly.
The mailman.
Mailman.
Everybody but you, Pete.
Yeah.
I blame the snowplow guys. You know, we should have been able to get that through. But hey.
Probably have 4-wheel drive.
Well, I look forward to, you know, getting mine and
did you look outside?
You know, like every 5 minutes since the show started.
I don't get it, man. You're in civilization. We're out here, you know, in
cornfields.
Yeah, we're in cornfields. JK's, I don't even know where he's at.
He's in Georgia, man. We're good.
Well,
JK's where it's going to be warm in a few weeks.
Yeah, they filmed The Walking Dead where JK's at.
You know? Wait, I got 2 cold water tournaments to fish here coming up. It's not going to get warm for 3 weeks, so I gotta persevere through this cold weather a couple more weeks.
3 weeks. It seems like an eternity.
Oh my God.
I have a tournament this weekend as well, like right here in Jacksonville, where our home office is. We have the Power Pole Go Live Redfish tournaments Friday and Saturday here, so that's
cool.
I get it, but I mean, the worst thing is I'll maybe have my sweatshirt on, and
there you go.
I'll get off.
Jacksonville, huh? That's cool, man. Jacksonville is my old
I'll wear
stop.
my mask so that way my face doesn't get, you know, wind burnt.
You do a lot of red fishing on the St. Johns River?
I'm upset.
Sure. Believe it or not, there's redfish like literally very far up into a lot of the rivers, because you know they can sit there and go back and forth. But it's like the biggest area I've seen that in is Louisiana. When my first IFA championship that I fished there, literally in the same in the same hole, I caught a 26-inch redfish and a 2.5-pound bass using the exact same Z-Man soft plastic bait.
That's crazy.
It's cool.
I've
Tiger,
done that same.
how far are
thing
you
you
from the Huguenot Park area of Jacksonville?
So I'm down here in Jacksonville Beach. So
Oh, okay.
it's probably
so you guys are at the
maybe
beach.
20. Yeah, maybe like 20 minutes. I mean, you got to remember, Jacksonville is the largest city.
It's the largest
in the
landmass,
United
man. My whole half my family's they're all from Jacksonville.
Nice.
Yeah. My old stomp was I grew up fishing, trout and redfish, but just from the bank. Around like Heckscher Drive and all that backwater off the St. Johns River. My grandparents down there, they lived real close to the St. Johns, so I caught a lot of speckled trout, a lot of redfish on just from the bank, spinning rod fishing, bombing it out into the river at the right tides, and it's
and the tides up here are like ridiculous. Like you're looking at like a 6-foot tide.
Yep.
6-foot tide change. When that sign says that the tide is going out, get out.
Yeah.
We know
That's just like here. That's crazy. That's just like up here in the Delaware. We have a 6 to 7 foot tide swing. So we get,
Tiger, how long have you been in that area?
So I've been in Florida for 15 years. I live in Tampa Bay, but I come up here quite often. I'm probably up here maybe a week and a half every month.
Have you ever fished either the St. Augustine Kingfish Tournament or the Greater Jacksonville Kingfish Tournament?
Both.
Both?
Both.
15. I don't know when the last time I fished one was. I was a little kid, but I used to. I was a knee higher crumb snatcher, jumping around on the Kingfish boats with all my cousins, trying to be a part of the team down there in those tournaments.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So basically, you're the one standing in front of the live well, sitting there getting the bait for everybody.
Pretty much, yeah. I was pretty much just pulling bait all the time. Yep.
Risby baiting.
Yeah.
And that what's crazy, dude, down in Marathon this weekend, we caught a 45-pound king.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, we're coming to Florida, Tiger.
King.
Hey, look, my wife and I just got done finished building our house, and I've got plenty of room. So if y'all want to come down and go fishing, I got the
Don't
new
dangle
boat.
that carrot. Don't dangle that carrot. We'll get that set up.
I'll be there in 20 hours.
Yeah, right. My truck's right outside. I'll fill it up with diesel. Come on.
That's awesome.
Hey, Tiger, thanks so much for hanging out with us, and want to invite everybody to go over to gillsgear.com and check out the gear. All you subscribers, you got amazing gift benefits,
25%.
Purchasing benefits over at our pro members offers. Just click on those and you can hook yourself up with some cool Gills gear at a cool Bass U discount.
Yes.
I appreciate that, and thanks so much for hooking us up and being part of the program, man. It's been great. And it's been great to have you on the show tonight, buddy.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's an absolute blast. I love sitting there and being a part of any anglers. And you get in a group of anglers, man, you know you're going to have a good time. Some chops are going to get busted, and next thing you know, you guys are out sitting there trying to put money on the table to catch the biggest fish.
That's right. That's right.
You know what? We're coming. Rich,
it's coming.
Load her up.
Let's go.
We're heading south.
Let's go, guys. Pick me up on your way.
Yeah, right. We're headed south. Well, thanks so much, Tiger. We'll catch up with you real soon. Appreciate you being with us tonight, and congrats on all the new products.
Thank you guys so much.
Thanks, buddy.
All right. Thank you, man.
All right.
Have a great night.
You too.
Tiger Huffman, thank you, man. Gills Gear, the official gear of Bass University TV. There it is. And what a great show. What a cool deal, man. It's so interesting to hear the saltwater guys that are so invested, just like we are.
Yeah,
we do, and this is great gear, guys, that absolutely accomplishes stuff better than anything in the bass fishing world. So go check it out. And what a great show. Appreciate all you guys hanging out. And man, do we have a like and share?
Yep.
What else do we have tonight?
We got a like and share to give away for sure. It's a you can see it right here in front of me.
Stuff.
It's a Flambeau
chance,
quotient
guys.
box with VMC Rapala inside it and an RTD rod threading device. And I have a winner for that if we're ready to roll.
Yep.
Cool. The winner of the Facebook like and share tonight on the Bash University Live is Chris Lewis. Chris Lewis, congratulations. You just won yourself a Flambeau box loaded with Rapala, VMC, and an RTD rod threading device.
Outstanding.
Fantastic. Hey man, let's
All
hit
right.
them member bennies one last time, because good golly, dude. I don't know why anybody would not be a subscriber to the Bass University besides getting 800 fish catching seminars from the tournament tested best in the world. Anybody can say how you catch a fish. Only certain people can back it up with trophies. We hire those people. We've got the mobile app. You get 40 to 50% off discounts at Rapala, 30% at Flambeau,
40% at Flambeau.
What is it?
40% at Flambeau.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. Dude, my eyes are terrible. 30% at Missile Baits, 25% at Gills Gear, 15% Sea Clear Power, 15% off at, maybe coming soon, the biggest retailer out there, online retailer.
Yeah.
Soon,
Secret.
could be. Free
Coming.
shipping on your American-made cash and rods. $10 off a purchase of $50 or more at Teach Marine. 10% off at MikeIkeAnelli.com. 15% at Rod Warrior. Dude.
And the list goes on.
Yeah.
Come on.
That's like those buyer's cards or those discount cards all the kids used to sell in fundraisers, you know?
Yep.
That you always bought one. You always bought the coupon book or whatever it is. But, dude, we have built the old buyer's club here, man, for our
That's right.
subscribers, and I think it's pretty awesome.
You're dang right.
As is that shirt you're wearing, JK. Looking sharp.
Yep.
When we
Yeah,
zoom in.
I'm feeling sharp, too.
Yeah.
Feeling groovy.
Had like
thank
2 or
you.
3 comments.
Special thanks to Derek Mundy to coming on tonight and sharing
Absolutely.
his tips.
He was
and
what,
techniques.
what I thought he would be. He was outstanding. I knew he would
Yeah.
be. Yep.
Yeah, we appreciate it, and wow, I can't believe he's been a subscriber for so long. It gives us such a sense of pride, and we love the folks from Texas. We have so many subscribers down there, and we have to give away a Gills Gear certificate tonight. How are we doing that,
We
Brian?
did it, Rich, or Pete.
We did that already?
Yeah. We that was the grand prize. We with the trivia question, what the jig trailer was.
I remember that now. I didn't realize that was the prize we were giving away,
Yes,
and
sir.
it's gone. And thank you, Gills Gear, for giving that prize. And thank you guys, everybody. JK, BTC, Riz, thank you guys. Thank you, Tiger and Derek, for being with us tonight. We're going to be back next
Jeremiah
Tuesday night.
Eads, thank you to Jeremiah and Johnny Morris. Thank you guys, both of you, big contributors to the community.
Charles, good luck repairing the damage that Brian did to our brand tonight and selling future sponsorships.
Stop it.
We love you guys. Thank you. Thanks everybody on the show tonight. Thanks guys for watching. We'll be back next Tuesday, 7 p.m. at another edition of Bashy Live. Have a great night, everybody.